Some of the most powerful people in the world are not the loudest. But in most cases, sometimes the people you don't even see, sometimes they are right at your doorsteps. They're not a talking type. Until you get to know them, you wouldn't know them. Well, I'd like to say good morning. Welcome to all of you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the OK Morning Rush. It's on 99.5 on OK FM, Lynch Street here in Monrovia. It's on a Tuesday, 16th of September, 2025. Good morning to all of you, our wonderful people. It's always a pleasure joining you in the morning. It's a privilege every time we sit here to talk to all of you. Yes. We're paying our dues. We're surrounded by witnesses. History is recording, and posterity will judge all of us. What role are we playing? Take some time and talk about Liberia. Let the world know that as a nation and people, we have our own challenges, but we're trying. We're trying. Okay, my name is Clarence. Welcome. I'm here until 10 o'clock this morning. We'll tell you what we're going to be doing today. Thanks to all of you. If you drive into town, drive with care. Schools are now open. Parents are taking the kids to school. The rain is also falling very heavily in some of the communities, making it difficult to get the kids to school. These are the stories that we explain in the future. That they got where they got, not by accident, but even on the ring, the parents used to take them to school. They will have their own story. You know, there is no story, there is no success without telling a story, right? Good morning to all of you. Okay, we'll be back. Coming up shortly, we'll take a break, join our sponsors. We pray for all of those who were involved in the explosion yesterday around the Freeport area. Thank God no death has been reported so far. We hope the management there and whatever the situation was, they put in place measures to avoid these kinds of situations. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back. But remember, my friends, the beauty of life has always been not about how happy you are, but how others can be happy because of you. But smart. Speak to somebody this morning. Say sorry when you are wrong. Sometimes when you are right, someone wronged you, you say sorry. You know why? You don't want to carry the burden of keeping away. But in all we do, remember the truth. No matter how hard, it's not as dangerous. It's not as very dangerous as a lie. In the long run, be grateful to anybody who tells you the truth. We will be back.
Avina Security Service Incorporated is a Liberian private guard service established and registered with the Government of Liberia. Avina Security Services is located in Single Airfield, adjacent to James Springfield Airport. With the wealth of experience, Avina Security provides the following services: physical security, industrial security, VRP and protocol services, residential guard service, airport security service, seaport security service, hospital, restaurant, supermarket, malls, store security as well. Avina Security Service Incorporated. You can contact our Single Airfield head office on the following numbers: 0776 928892 or 086 968282, or you can email us at avinasecurityservice@gmail.com, or better still reach out at our office for more information. Avina Security Service Incorporated is join Avina Security Services for a safer security, your best Liberian security service.
Eko bakasi, eko Liberia, eko ya yo. Iyo, eko ya.
Liberia, it's time for a new journey, a journey of power, performance, and reliability. CCAR Motors has rebranded. Welcome to the all-new CFA Mobility Liberia, your trusted provider of world-class vehicles, motorcycles, and trucks. With Toyota, experience, strength, innovation, and adventure like never before. Built for Liberia's toughest roads. You need power and performance? Mitsubishi delivers toughness, efficiency, and performance for every job. And for those who move fast and ride with style, Yamaha Motorcycle provides unbeatable speed, durability, and comfort. At CFA Mobility Liberia, we don't just sell vehicles, we provide expert servicing, genuine parts, and lifetime support to keep you moving. Visit us today and experience the new CFA Mobility Liberia. Same trusted quality, brand new experience.
Things are on me, with the emergency. How do I manage again?
Potano, why are you sitting here just talking by yourself?
Julie, I need money quick. I want to go find somebody to credit me. Then I will pay them as soon as I get paid with the more in.
EcoBank can credit you, but the only thing you have to pay in 1 month, and the good thing, the interest are just 3%.
For you?
Yeah, just go to any EcoBank branch and you ask for the form to enroll you on their salary advance platform. When they get you the form, you fill it up and you make sure your HR sign it. Then you take that form back to the bank. After you carry it to the bank, they will send you a message to let you know that you're already on the platform. Then you can use the *326# and request for 50% of your salary. Instantly, you will receive it.
Wow, just like that? Pray any to more money, Judy. I'm going to the bank to pick up the phone quick.
Yo, go get the form quick. In less than 1 week, you receive the money. And what I like about it, and they can't even ask you for collateral set.
I go in there right now, no wasting time, oh.
I'm not saying you must not go there right now. You must make sure you pay the bank money back.
Hey, Judy, that you talking slow, so I will pay back quick so I can credit again. EcoBank now easy, oh. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Football fever is here. Monrovia, Liberia, this September 20th. All roads lead to the SKD Stadium as the Giant of Liberia, FC Fasel, takes on the Giants of Algeria, MC Alger, in a CAF Champions League preliminary round 1. Come witness passion, pride, and power as Liberia's own FC Fasel defend home turf against North Africa firepower. Don't miss the Clash of Champions, the battle for glory, and the roar of the fans. History is calling. Will you answer? Be there this September 20th in Monrovia at the SKD Sports Complex in Piso City. Admission around the field, $500 Liberian. Stadium wear, $5 USD. Around VIP, $20 USD. And VVIP, $100 USD with a complimentary exclusive package. This is the time. Come and support your own. Let's witness a historic day, a day you never miss on the football calendar in Africa. FC Fasel, our pride, our game. FC Fasel, let's rise again. FC Fasel versus MC Alger is powered by NIF Liberia.
Yes, it's Marie Manga. Have you heard about the one and only Marie Manga herbal supplement? Marie Manga is a Liberian-made herbal supplement. It helps to boost the human immune system to fight against cancer, pressure, and many other sicknesses. Meanwhile, people that used to sell the Marie Manga herbal supplement in Bon, Nimba, and Lofa County had finally settled down in Moserado and its surrounding. The Marie Manga hot tea supplement is available now in the following office stations: Bona Farm, opposite Mankumba Benu Tissue Factory, King Johnson Road and Clay Street intersection towards OES Transport Building. Kakata, Mangibi County, Bassa Community around the radio station. Ganta City, Glelu Community around the People Street, YMCA Junction. Campley City, Nimba County, Broad Street, opposite Facebook, Vonjama City, Lofa County. Yes, it's Marie Manga. Marie Manga Hot Tea Supplement is a registered supplement with the Liberia Medicine and Health Product Regulatory Authority, LMHRA. For more information about the Marie Manga Hot Tea Supplement, contact us on the following numbers: 0888-856776, 0777-444-591, and 0775-499549. Yes, it's Marie Manga, Liberia owned Herbert Supplement.
In your sickness.
Attention, attention, attention to all lovers of the good things in life. A house is not a home, and a home is the one place where you should feel relaxed and accomplished. Your home should reflect who you are. So, it's time to make that upgrade with minimal damage to your pockets. And I have the perfect solution for you. Home Sweet Home, located on Benson Street, between Center and Buchanan Streets, got you covered. From the kitchen, we have air fryers, juice makers, pressure cookers, freezers of all sizes, and all the modern kitchenwares you can think about. From the bedroom, we have top of the line, exquisite beddings to give you that great night's sleep because you have earned it, and soft, comfortable towels for your bathroom. And in the living room, we have high definition TV sets of all sizes, unique aerial rugs, classy curtains in all the colors you desire, wall paintings of different sizes and colors, furniture, and everything you can think about for the home. All that at unbelievable prices. We even have low voltage, high quality washing machines and dryers to keep your clothes fresh and new at all times. As a bonus, we have fashion accessories for both the young and the old, designer quality bags, hats, and rare jewelries. So if you love yourself, your family, and your home, it's time to treat it right. Visit Home Sweet Home on Benson Street between Center and Buchanan Streets for that needed upgrade. You can call them on 0886-834-944 or 0770-581-420. Home Sweet Home, for the love of a classy home.
Where you dey go? Where you dey find?
Why you dey ask me that kind of question? Say where I dey go? Where I dey go? I dey come. You don't hit my car.
You Menju, why you walking and talking all by yourself so?
My sister, the car business are really thinking about so to get car in this country is really not easy. Since I put in for my cars and other goods, it is almost 1 year I can't get anything.
But it says stranger who always asks don't miss their way. Haven't you heard about urban used cars and auto parts?
You mean urban used cars and auto parts?
Yes. Urban used cars and auto parts is 100% Liberian owned business with urban Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts, you can purchase your new cars, used cars, and all cars parts directly from America for an affordable price. Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts can also help you ship your parrots, your boxes, containers, and other goods from your relatives abroad within just 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow, this is a good news. Where can I find Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts?
If you are in Liberia, Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts is located Fish Market, Tottenham Boulevard, Monrovia, Liberia. And in the USA, 220 10th Street, Brookhaven, Pennsylvania, 19015, United States of America. You can also visit their Facebook page, Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts International, or call cell number +231 887 012218.
Thank you for this information. I am visiting Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts to begin the process of my car and auto goods.
Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts. Our goal is to allow Liberians have access to buy things from America without being cheated.
Football fans, get ready. The future of women's football is here. From September 17th to the 28th, Liberia proudly holds a Waffle Under 17 Girls Tournament. 3 nations, 1 stage, 1 dream. Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Senegal battling for regional glory. Come and cheer our rising stars as they showcase skills, passion, and the unstoppable spirit of West African football. Let's fill the stands with our flags and support our girls as they make history on home soil. Go Liberia! Don't miss the Waffle Under 17 Girls Tournament, September 17th to the 28th. Be there, be loud, be proud. SKD, here we come!
So to all of you Liberians, go out there and support the women football. If you are a Senegalese and the Sierra Leoneans residing here in Liberia, in Monrovia, you can also make your way there. Have you heard about the Marie Maga Herbal Supplement? It is a Liberian-made herbal supplement. It helps to boost the human immune system to fight against cancer, pressure, and many other sicknesses. People that used to sell the Marie Magal herbal supplement in Bonk, Nimba, and Lofa counties have finally settled down in Monrovia and its surrounding. The Marie Magal hot tea supplement is available now in the following office station: Bernard Farm, opposite Makuma Benu Tissue Factory, Camp Johnson Road and Clay Street intersection towards OES Transport Building, Kakatama, Gibi County, Bassa Community around the radio station. Ganta City, Glenlue Community around the People Street, YMCA Junction, Campley City, Nima County, Broad Street opposite Facebook, Vonjema City, Lofa County. Marie Maga Hot Tea Supplement is a registered supplement with the Liberia Medicines and Health Products Regulatory Authority. For more information about the Marie Magal Hot Tea Supplement, contact us on the following numbers: 0888 856776, 0777 444 591, and 0775 499 That's 0775 499 549. Are the numbers to call to reach out to the folks at Marie Maga. Let's go to our Facebook page and recognize some of the people. I say some because the names are just so many. Keseli Guizet is watching with us. Kezo, good morning. Zayangla Chei watching from Indianapolis in the US. Roland Toll watching. Hilton Wale Jedo. Hilton, where are you? Where's Hilton? McCarthy Rufus McCarthy is also watching. Robertson Mumbo is joining us. Prince Eberpotent, that's Prince Tieji, a former student leader at Cardinal University. Prince, how are you? Long time. Francis Toll is watching. Vanny Sisse Jr., Zoka Oliver Lasana, Omega Brown is watching. Abel King Fofana, John Williams is also following us this morning. Morris Lucini Sisse, Hawa Sando, that's Chris Cholope is watching. Abraham S.K. Gotolo, my brother, good morning. Long time. Emmanuel Bundo, David Moluba, David Moluba should be Vafle. Vafle. Yes, I knew this is Vafle. The guy will not call me Clarence. You always add a Gion Jassy into my name. It's my childhood friend somewhere way there in Australia. Good morning to you, Vafle. How are you? Long time, brother. Lee Dodo is watching. That's Casey. Debbie Capet is also watching. Emmanuel Blay is watching. Joshua Toto is following us. Some of you are writing long. Wow, this guy got too much energy. Enoch Williams, and the guy got energy. He can rap plenty. Let me go back here. Garment Sarah's Beto is joining us. Mrs. Beto, good morning to you. Joshua Toto is watching with us. Good morning. Charles T.K. Sherman is watching. Roberto Riches is watching. Matthew M. Colley Jr. and all of you, man. The list is so much. We appreciate all of you for always joining us in the morning. Let's go to the BBC. Let's give you a gist of what's happening. What's happening to this Nigeria jollof rice? The folks on Joy FM in Ghana were discussing this jollof rice. And there's a girl from Ghana. She's one of the presenters on Joy FM News. I'm just forgetting her name. She resisted, agreeing with her friend that the Nigerian jollof is the best. That's what I like about them, the Ghanaians. She said, no. Nigerian chef Heidi Basi has broken the world record for cooking the largest ever pot of jollof rice in Lagos last week. Guinness World Records confirmed the achievement on social media, saying Ms. Basi's concursion on the popular West African dish weigh in at a staging 8.78 g. That's 80 kilogram. Wow. This is the story from the BBC. I see why these women were arguing last evening on Joy FM. Okay. Not too much of a time we have this morning. Frank, that's not Frank, but George Lobo. George Lobo is a supporter of the regime. He will join us a few minutes after 8. George Lobo will join us. 9 o'clock this morning, we'll have Liberia firefighting chief Waswell, what's his name? His last name I have to take some time. But the head of the fire service in Liberia, the Director General, is that a portfolio? The Director General of the Liberia National Fire Service will be here. He just returned to the country from the U.S. after participating in the international training. Refresher, I would say, part of effort to build his capacity. He's back in the country. We'll also like to know from him about any update about the situation yesterday around the port. The fire service responded there. But now I know they should have some very good capacity to be able to respond to some of the situations around the country, especially at the time when we are just going to the dry season. The fire service should be getting prepared. So yesterday, I think the Chinese government has made some presentation of drug and other things to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, not Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Health. Thanks to the Chinese government, and thank you to our reporter Fatou Kamara is back in the country. She arrived very safely. Manipake Dumwe, a staunch member of Darius DeLong and Nyobli Kanga Lawrence Liberty Party, wrote this. He took to his page and he wrote this. He says, after almost a decade at the Liberty Party, I am moving on to the CMC to explore new approaches to national progress. I look forward to working for a unified opposition and victory in 2029, one term for GMB. So Mempake Dumwe has officially announced that he's moving over to Musa Belite's Citizens Movement for Change, and that he's parting way with the Liberty Party, where he's been for a lot of years. Okay, so yesterday Belite was here, and we did not have the time to go into this contract with the the contract his company Shemex signed with the LPRC. We did not have to go into the memorandum of understanding. I hope we can go into this thing here. It's called the Petroleum Storage Agreement. Then I'm also privileged this morning. Now I have in my hand the documents from the Liberian Senate, the committee report and Senator Nukwe's communication, and how this whole issue about the investigation came about that is leading us where we are today. So it's a privileged document, and I will read the names of the senators who signed to give the go ahead. I will also name you the senators who signed and the senators who did not sign. I hope we can have a lot of time to read this Petroleum Storage Agreement. It is called the Petroleum Storage Agreement. This Petroleum Storage Agreement made and entered into this 19th day of September by and between Shemex Oil and Gas Company, represented by its Chief Executive Officer, Musa Hassan Belete of the city of Monrovia, Montserrat County, Republic of Liberia, the beneficiary, referred to as Shemex, and Liberia Petroleum Refining Company, represented by its Managing Director T. Nelson Williams II, and Financial Controller Elizabeth M. Totman, both also of the city of Monrovia, Montserrat County, Republic, aforesaid herein after referred to as LPRC and Shemex as herein after collectively also referred to as the parties and each individually as party hereby. Witness, whereas LPRC has the executive right to issue licenses for the importation of petroleum products into the Republic of Liberia, the license, and whereas the parties here to acknowledge that before LPRC issues the license for a designated territory, LPRC must be satisfied that such designated territory has sufficient operational storage and loading facilities, and whereas Shemex represents that it is engaged in the importation and sale of petroleum products pursuant to the license issued by the LPRC, and whereas by the terms of an agreement of lease dated April 23, 2012 between Shemex and the National Port Authority, copy of which is attached hereto as Appendix A, to form a part hereof, Shemex acquired from the MPA leasehold rights over a parcel of undeveloped land consisting of 88.856.85 square feet or 2.3 acres, lying and being within the free port of Monrovia, Bushel Island, whereas Shemex further represents that utilizing the property sufficient operational storage and loading facilities can be provided for by the Liberian market on a regular basis, and to this end has requested LPRC to issue Shemex the license for the importation and sale of petroleum products on the Liberian market, and to provide bunkering services and the importation of transshipment of petroleum product within the outside of Liberia. And whereas Shemex is prepared to undertake the cost and expenses of constructing a storage and loading facility on the property, subject to LPRC granting the license to Shemex for said purpose. It's a very long document. So this is the now therefore, this is where I like to be. Now therefore, for and in consideration of the exchange of promises herein contained, the parties hereto confident and mutually agree as follows. 1. Oh my word. 1. Shemex hereby undertakes and agree to and shall construct on the property in accordance with international standards a storage and loading facility. People keep calling, man. A storage and loading, a storage and loading facility, including but not limited to shoreline. Oh, who's this, man? to show land and storage tanks, tank farm, low link rank, generators, pump, meters, access roads. Who's doing this? I'm on the radio, man. A call keep diverting my attention. I lost track of this whole thing. I was reading this agreement with Musa Abilities Company and the LPRC, and somebody keep calling. Oh, wow. Okay, let's go down here. I want to read further down. My friends just skip. Who's doing this? I want to read further down. Let me read you further down here. Let me see what I can. I don't know who's calling. I'm not taking calls now. Too soon. This person keeps distracting me, man. Excuse me, folks. There's this storage agreement we're reading right here. Let's go back. Now, therefore, there was a particular bit Musa ability to talk about something bonding or all this kind of thing. Now, it is mutually agreed and understood that in an event of default constituting material breach of this agreement and upon notification of the non-breaching party, this agreement may be terminated at the option, may be optional, at the option of the non-breaching party if the party in default fails to cure or remedy the default within 90 days after receiving written notice therefore or thereof. In the event of such termination, all claims and disputes may be settled in accordance with arbitration in accordance with section 10 of this agreement. Okay, that's it. Now, let me go to what somebody would believe that culminated into all these things and when it actually started. So I have few documents here in my hands. This one, I am sure, is something from Senator. Okay, this is the joint report. I'm not coming to the report yet. I want to go to a communication that was written by Magibi County Senator James Emmanuel Nukwe. Yes, I think this is the communication. I think this is what all these things are about. That's how all the things came on. Now, this communication was written, is from Anthony J. Emmanuel Nukwe, Chairman of Public Corporation, June 30, 2025. June 30, 2025. When was Jeremiah Cohn, the Vice President, appointed to head a committee? I think it was July 26. The President may have announced that thing. My memory should be right. He was appointed on July 26. So, on the 30th of June, Emmanuel Nukwe wrote this. Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, President Pro Tem of the Liberian Senate Capitol Building, blah, blah, blah. Dear Madam Pro Tem, I have the distinguished honor to draw the attention of the Liberian Senate to an alarming and troubling and unfair pricing structure relating to the handling of petroleum products. There are approximately 16 different pricing items on the petroleum pricing structure that culminate into the final petroleum price for each category of petroleum product. Some of these prices are set by legislative enactment, while others are considered as charges. These charges are from time to time reviewed and set by the LPRC and the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Our review of the pricing structure revealed the following. 1. A troubling and an unfair consolidation of what appears to be regulatory and storage charges. As you may be aware, LPRC until recent was the only entity regulating and storing petroleum products. The amount charged for storage had, over the years, covered for LPRC's regulatory, handling, testing, and storage charges. But after the entry of the private storage tanks owners in the sector, the bulk amount is still being considered for both LPRC and private storage tanks owners. Nukwe's letter. It goes on. It's a long letter. This situation has greatly undermined LPRC and diminished its earning capacity. As you are all aware, LPRC has not been meeting its revenue quota assessed by this legislature in recent years. Whenever LPRC operational cost increases and its confronted with the need to increase its revenue, the storage charge is increased to benefit both private tank owners and LPRC. These private tank owners are not regulating the sector like LPRC, but continue to benefit from the same amount charged for all these activities. Recently, LPRC increased the storage charge by 5 cents, raising the storage charge to 35 cents per gallon, even more than the road fund levy. 2. Financing costs. The petroleum pricing structure incorporates the following costs per gallon as financing costs for the import of petroleum products. The causes are here, blah, 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 jet fuel, all these ones. These are charged per gallon and paid by users of petroleum products to importers. Unlike rest and other essential commodities, the Liberian people don't pay their financing costs, and as such, it is grossly unfair for the country to continuously bear the financing cost of every gallon of petroleum product imported. This cost needs to be completely removed from the price formula. 3. Evaporation charges. The petroleum price formula contains the following charges for evaporation per gallon: MPS 0.3, 0.03, AGO 0.02, get A 0. And all these things. This category is similarly treated like storage charge. When LPRC was the only entry storing petroleum products for importers, they constantly encountered regular theft of petroleum products and had to account for these petroleum products to importers. This situation led to the deviation of evaporation charges and incorporated into the price formula. When private tank owners came in the sector, the same charges were rolled over to them, just as the storage charge. Besides, the situation at LPRC has improved, and the theft of petroleum products is almost non-existent. There is therefore no need to keep charging the Liberian people 2 cents and 3 cents for evaporation on every gallon of petroleum product brought at the pump. Nukwe letter continues. Coming in rare. Madam Protem, in order to amicably address these issues, I crave the indulgence of the Liberian Senate to mandate the Ways, Means, and Finance Committee and other relevant committees to do the following. 1. Review the impact of the situation on LPRC revenue generation and make appropriate recommendations to address the problem and ensure that LPRC meets its annual contribution to the national budget. 2. Bifurcate LPRC's entry, testing, and administrative charges from the bulk amount being charged for storage. 3. That a new storage charge be set and that it reflects similar treatment like other charges on the price formula. 4. That a new storage charge be set through legislative enactment, just as the road fund levy, to avoid manipulation as has been done over the years. Completely remove the financing costs from the petroleum price formula. 6. Completely remove evaporation charges from the price formula, as this is an unnecessary burden being placed on the shoulders of the Liberian people. Thanking you in advance while looking forward to your cooperation on this matter. Sincerely, Emmanuel Nukwe. Nukwe wrote the Liberian Senate, craving the indulgence of the august body to do these things he talked about, because he said the Liberian people will pay evaporation fee and all these things, and most of the monies were going to the pockets of private investors, people who own storages at the facility, and it was making it impossible for LPRC to meet up with its annual revenue target. Then the Liberian Senate set up a committee, and I'm sure that committee, this is how Senator Prince Moiden came in. I think that committee was headed by the Committee on Waste, Means and Finance to review Nukwe's letter and blah, blah, blah. Now, the Liberian Senate report to the Joint Committee on the Waste, Means, Finance and Budget, Judiciary, Human Rights, Claims and Petition, Public Corporations, Commerce, Trade and Industry, and Hydrocarbon, Energy and Environment on investigation into the petroleum pricing formula regularly used by LPRC and Ministry of Commerce to determine petroleum prices. Now, it was a big committee, the Committee on Waste, Means and Finance, Judiciary, Energy, Hydrocarbon, and Public Corporation. All these committees, they did investigation. Then they did a background. They did the methodology. Let me read the methodology because it's important. The method they use to derive what they derive. In furtherance of plenary's mandate, the Joint Committee scheduled a public hearing on July 8, 2025, and invited the following institutions: LPRC, Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Liberian Business Association, Petroleum Importers Association, and the Petroleum Storage Tanks Owners Association. At the hearing, only LPRC and the Ministry of Commerce attended. The other invitees did not attend, neither did they send communication giving reasons for their absence. Now, the other day when I started talking about this whole storage issue, I was wondering, remember, I said, I'm wondering whether the government of Liberia, through the LPRC, took this decision without regard to any of the other institutions, because there are stakeholders in these different sectors. The Liberian Senate, by this communication now, is making us to understand that it did a public hearing, and at that public hearing, it wished all of these other institutions, the petroleum dealers, the storage tank owner, everybody, the Liberian Senator, it invited all these people, invitation by extension, and it will be by writing. The Liberian Senator invited all these people, but the people did not come. Only the two institutions of the government, LPRC and Ministry of Commerce, participated in the public hearing. Let's move on. The deliberations. During the deliberations, Senator Nukwe presented the issues as detailed below. Financing. So during the deliberation, again, apparently the committee asked Nukwe to make his case. Senator, you wrote this letter. Why do you want us to take the actions you want us to take? Nukwe again may have taken the stand or in whatever manner, and he explained. From there, the committee came up with recommendations. Recommendation 1, that the petroleum pricing structure be revised by LPRC and the Ministry of Commerce, taking into consideration the decision of the Liberian Senate. That financing costs be reduced to 1% of CIF value. That evaporation charges be reduced to 0.25%. That the revised petroleum formula removed the recent increment made to petroleum prices. That the additional 5 cents added to storage charges in May be removed and added to the road fund, thereby increasing the road fund levy to 0.35 per gallon. That this amount, 0.05, applied against an annual importation of approximately 130 million gallons would generate US 6,500,000. That this amount, approximately US 6,500,000 or more, be designated for the annual road works in each of the 15 counties of Liberia. That the amount annually collected be evenly divided on each of the 15 counties. That storage charge be set at US 0.05 gallon. That LPRC's services be incorporated in the price formula as follows. Jet maintenance, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's go down. So these were the recommendations. They say, look, the money will get it from there. The money should go to the 15 counties. It should be evenly divided because the Liberian people money and blah, blah, blah. These are the senators who signed. Committee on Waste, Means, Finance, and the Budget. That the committee prepared the one. Signed. Senator Prince Kemomwe. I don't see his signature here. Senator Moy, I don't see his signature. Senator Clarence O. Duncan. Senator Clarence O. Duncan, co-chair, he signed. Senator Francis S. Dopo is a member. He signed. Senator Joseph K. Jala of Lofa is a member. He signed. Senator Boto Kane of Bapolo, she signed. Senator Simeon B. Taylor of Kitman, he signed. Senator J. Glebo Brown of Maryland, he signed. Senator Zoe Emmanuel Pena of Grand Gilead, Zoe did not sign. Senator Albert T. Chie of Grand Crew, Albert Chie did not sign. Senator Anthony J. Emmanuel Nukwe of Margibi, he signed. Senator Jenica Alex Tyler of Bombing, Tyler signed. Senator Bezonga Milton Finney of Bassa, he signed. Senator Wellington Javon Smith of Riverside, Smith did not sign. Senator Said Joseph did not sign. Senator Nyan D. Twain of Nimba is a member. Nyan Twain signed. Senator Anthony Allard, this one, Emmanuel Nukwe, all these things. Creighton O. Duncan, Zopena. Okay, Senator Bill Tuare. I don't see Bill Tuare's signature. I talk about Simeon Taylor, Joseph Jala, all the people. Senator Johnny Kwehe of Bong, he signed. Senator Numenu T.H. Batikwa, he signed. And who other senator? Let me see. Let's go. Any other senator? Okay, no, there are different committees. Let me bring you up to speed. So there are different committees here. So the first committee I read was Committee on, this is Waste, Means and Finance Committee. Okay. Then the next committee, okay, so that's how they did it. The next committee here is a committee on public corporation. So you'll see that senators signed 2-3 times because they are on different committee. The committee on public corporation, Emmanuel Nukwe signed. Senator Councilor Augustine Chie, co-chair, he did not sign. Senator Creighton Duncan again signed. Zopena did not sign. Sir Joseph did not sign. Bill Tuare did not sign. Simeon Taylor signed. Johnny Kwehe signed. Numenu Batikwa signed. Francis Dopo signed. Prince Mui did not sign. Let's move on to another committee. Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Claims and Petition. This committee is chaired by Councilor Albert Chie. Augustine, the chairman of the committee did not sign. Councilor Augustine Chie did not sign. Joseph Jala signed. Darius DeLong is a member. He signed. Albert Chie did not sign. Emmanuel Nukwe signed. Simeon Taylor signed. James Barney did not sign. Ellis Tyler signed. Committee on Hydrocarbon Energy and the Environment. Edwin Melvin Snow is the chair of the committee. Snow signed this document. Senator Johnny Kwehe signed this document. Augustine Chie did not sign. Daba Vapla of Grand Kitman, she signed the document. Nyan Toayen signed. Simeon Taylor signed. Abraham Darius DeLong is a member of this committee. He signed. Let's go to Committee on Commerce, Trade and Industry. Ellis Tyler signed. Numenu Batikwa signed. Boto Kane signed. Sir Joseph Denis signed. Johnny Kwehe signed. Emmanuel Nukwe signed. Prince Mui. So Senator Mui almost did not sign all these documents. So that's it. So these are the senators that signed to say, yeah, I think what Nukwe did, it makes sense. Nukwe's communication makes sense. So the Liberian Senate can go ahead and make these recommendations. And so this is how the whole thing came about. It was in June when Nukwe, said he observed some things and he wrote the Liberian Senate, and the Senate set up a committee and the committee went into it. Different committees went into it. The committees came back. The committee said they invited LPRC, they invited Musa Ability then, they invited Petroleum Dealers Association, they invited the Business Association, but all these people did not go. However, that they did not go did not stop the Senate from going ahead, my friends. So you're listening to everything we said this morning. Let's hear from you now on the show. What do you think about it? I was reading, Musa Ability insists that the whatever decision that is supposed to be taken by the legislature is supposed to emanate from the House of Representatives and not from the Liberian Senate. And so the form, shape, and manner in which this whole thing was done is marred with fraud. And so he is not part of it. So the other fact is that this was not a result of the Jeremiah Coons Committee. Rather, it is the result of a communication that Senator Emmanuel Nukwe wrote to the Liberian Senate. 0777-700-9995, 555-9995, 9995. This is the OK Morning Rush. Let's hear all of you. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Clarence. I'm on the East America for this number 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Clarence, thank God you really the entire coming from the Labrador Senate.
Yeah.
So the president make it look yesterday like you see there was nothing done. Amos to a guy from the APRC in order to take the decision. I live in the pool look. Thank God you will let a part to the Labrador Senate who's supposed to do this thing.
But you didn't hear Benedict says the decision should not have emanated from the Senate. It should have started from the lower house.
But nobody from the lower house have that thought, like what the upper house did. And then they did our work. And then when they invited him, even he wanted to the petroleum deal on the market with the coin, he should have we go there and talk about there you're not there, I had to put the decision.
Okay. Thank you. Let me say welcome back to the country to Reverend Councilor Dr. Larry Bruple. He's been away to the U.S., the taxi boy. He was in the States. He just came back. Dr. Bruple, good morning. Welcome back home. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Yeah?
Yeah, this is Moali.
Okay, sir.
Clarence, I think we are making one simple mistake here.
Okay.
This thing is about LPRC own storage fee and the storage fee that they have the right, the authority by law to impose, either increase or reduce. The Senate only did their investigation and made recommendation to the executive to implement these actions.
Yep.
This is not something that was legislated. So for anybody to argue that, it's supposed to start from the House of Representatives before you go to the Senate, no, this is now legislative.
Except that ability is saying, I'm not sure he's questioning the authority of LPRC in totality, but he said on this one, there were procedural errors. And that he signed a storage agreement with LPRC.
So the first question we should be asking is, who has the authority to impose the fee?
Okay.
To levy the fee? Is it LPRC or the legislature? The legislature has nothing to do with it. So the legislature is only concerned these things are and they are putting untold suffering on the people, and if the people are going to be paying more for storage fee, then the legislature or the Senate is saying then the people should benefit from that cost that they are paying.
Okay, Mo.
I agree with the Senate's recommendation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mo. Let's go back to the line down here. Hello.
Good morning, bro.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, this is Nat Johnson. I call you from Lane Street.
Okay, Johnson.
Thank you very much for a very important document you read to us. But my input has to do with stability. Somebody is a regulator of a process. And the person telling you the burden is so heavy for the country that what really you want to do.
Why if the procedure the person is using is not the right procedure? Do you just sit? I mean, assuming what he's saying is what it is.
Clarence, I own my house. And I tell you that I'm increasing my rent or I'm reducing my rent. Then what your problem there is?
So you own your house, right?
Yes.
I pay for 6 months in the house, right?
You pay for 6 months.
So if I spend 3 months in the house, then within that 3 months, you say you increasing your rent, and I'm gonna pay the balance 3 months the increment price. You think we'll not have some discussion there?
No, that's not the issue we're discussing.
Okay, but you listen to Musa say he's got contract. He signed an agreement with the LPRC as far back as 2002. I mean, we're just reasoning. He signed an agreement as far back as 2012. And that any decision that's supposed to culminate into this decision the executive just taking, it is supposed to be something not taken in this manner. That is his point.
Clarence, you are a legal-minded person.
No, I'm not legal-minded. I'm not a lawyer.
But listen, no, you have a little knowledge. You're not a lawyer.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. If agreement is made between the two individuals or two entities, that agreement can be visited.
Okay, sir. Yeah, I agree with you. There will always be terms and conditions for agreements. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Clarence, I want to take it from another angle.
Yeah.
I listened to, is that Nukwe?
Senator
or
Nukwe,
Prince
he
Moy?
wrote the letter.
No, I listened to one senator, I think it's Prince Moy.
Senator
if I'm
Moy,
not
I think I listened to it in a press conference.
Yeah, so he had a press conference. Prior to that press conference, he also appeared on Spoon Network.
Okay, I didn't follow that.
And he said, each Leon, if I'm not mistaken, stand to be corrected, the storage fee is, I think, 5 cents or 0.25 something. But Clarence, do you know just a simple argument? Liberia, the overhead cost in Liberia is so high. Things prices in Liberia are higher than, for example, in Sierra Leone. And I'm saying there for the fact that we still have market women going to Sierra Leone, Guinea. I'm pushing a logic. I hope you will give me small change.
Yeah, except that you gotta hurry it up. Yeah.
Go Guinea, go Sierra Leone to buy market and bring it to Liberia. Maybe vice versa. But generally, things are cheaper in Sierra Leone than here. What I'm trying to say is the overhead cost in Liberia to maintain any business is so hard. So if you are setting price and the only justification apart from road phone and other things is one of the justification will be because we're checking the sub-region and it's this price in the sub-region, so it should be that price in Liberia, then there's a problem. Look, Clarence, you go or you count down, there will be storage facilities that will close. And if that is what we want, then we should go ahead, because to maintain that facility costs a lot. And if the businessman is not making profit to maintain his business, definitely he have to close.
Thank you, Musa.
Without politics, there still should be some negotiation with owners of this facility.
Thank you. I will take some time tomorrow. There are two important aspects of this agreement I would like to read. The amendment and termination clauses. They are very important in any legal instrument. I will take some time tomorrow to find the two clauses, the amendment and termination. What does the agreement say about amendment? What does it say about termination? It's very important. Hello?
Clarence?
Yeah, good morning, yeah. Let me take this guy from the U.S. He's been on the line ever so long. Good morning.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I don't want to talk back on Mo Ali because they know all, but let's go to the issue, right? I understand Musa's point. I'm not looking at the Senate or the lower house. Clarence, the apartment I'm in America, I signed a lease agreement for 2 years on my rent. The apartment had just raised their rent of extra $400, but guess what? It don't apply to those who already signed that 2 years or 1 year leasing agreement. So I understand Musa's point. You signed an agreement this is why Musa invested that money into that facility. So to just come back now and just call it and you have an agreement.
Okay, so like I say, I will try to look at the amendment and the termination clauses. What does it say? I will try to go right there. there.
Yeah, you understand. So we have to look between that thing and see. We're not gonna say because it's Musa or it's the house, but agreement is agreement. That's what we need to understand, because that money Musa put into that.
Okay, let me take. I think this is a privileged call. I say privileged call because the managing director of the Liberia Petroleum Refining Company is on this line. Amos, let's hear you.
Yes, morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
There's two things I wanted to clarify.
Okay.
And one is that the recommendation came directly from the Liberian Senate. I think you already have been able to explain the details to the presidency. The committee that the president set up, headed by the vice president, has nothing to do with this. It's important to emphasize, because I keep hearing people saying, "Oh, is the vice president leading this process?"
I said that because as way back as June, Nukwe wrote his communication.
Fantastic. The second point is that, look, this is storage fees. The storage fees that the Senate recommended for us to bifurcate. By that, they say we should unbundle the statutory activities that LPRC is carrying out in the industry, has done across all the different industries. You go Sierra Leone, there is something called jetty fees, there's something called vessel discharge, there's something called product handling and testing, there's something called inspection and survey. So all those different statutory activities carried out by the regulator, they are there. So what the Senate recommended is for us to unbundle them. But at the same time, when we did that, even our own fees, LPRC fees, was reduced by 9 cents. It is that 9 cents that the Liberian Senate recommended for us to reallocate towards support to county equipment and roads.
Musa also said yesterday that you people pretending to have dropped something, but you increase another fee. I may have just forgotten.
So let me say this to that. The objective, again, as I said yesterday, the objective of the government was to thoroughly examine the pricing structure with the objective of doing adjustments and at the same time reallocating some of the lines towards support to the different important programs, for example, social programs that the government is continuing to support on a fiscal year basis. So, for example, the financing, as the Senate rightly indicated, financing was removed totally. On the pricing structure, it was 1 cent, 1%. So that constitutes 2 cents. That 2 cents was allocated towards support to government social program. Then so that there is nothing the Senate.
Mr. Managing Director, with the exception of the invitation the Liberian Senate extended all of you, including the storage owners and stuff like those, did the LPRC have any meeting with these storage facility owners, or is it the best practice? What do you do in that kind of case?
Look, Clarence, every time the Liberian Senate invited us, as a matter of fact, it's important to state here that we hold meetings with petroleum stakeholders every month.
Okay.
At the end of every month. So every time the Liberian Senate invited us, they were either in the middle or almost the end of the month. And we always held meetings with them to inform them about the Liberian Senate's position.
Okay.
They are aware because they too were giving the invitation. But we did not increase pump price as a result of the reallocation. The government was very clear. When you read that letter, the president indicated that the reallocation was done without increasing pump price.
Thank you, Mr.
However,
MD.
no, come,
yeah, you got to conclude.
However, this month we were able to announce reduction in pump price of petroleum product. And last month we announced reduction in pump price of petroleum products. So what is the issue?
Okay.
So the storage fees is an administrative fees.
Thank you, Mr. MD.
Ministry of Education and other agencies of government, they set administrative fees the same way with LPRC.
Thank
so
you.
If there is concern, there are issues, I'm glad that they say they want to channel their different concerns and grievances to the court. Go to the court and let's
Thank
be
you.
able to
We got to leave.
Thank
you, Amos Stowe. Thank you,
Thank you,
LPRC Managing Director Amos Stowe. Listen, what I'm going to do, our guest George Lobo can come in now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get me some lawyers to place a legal eye on this agreement, to do an analysis and let me know about it, so I get to the public. I will find myself a lawyer, and I will send the agreement so that the lawyer will look at the agreement and do an analysis as far as legality is concerned. What's binding, what's supposed to happen, what's not supposed to happen. Then we take a leave of you. This morning, I want to let you know that this morning, in fact, last night, I called the spokesperson of the Liberian National Police, Cecilia Clark, on several occasions to get information from her as to how far the police has gone with the investigation of the alleged rape allegation against Deputy Minister Brian McGill. She did not pick up my call. This morning, I have sent her text message. I am still asking her to talk to us about any update, because she said on Friday the investigation started. She left yesterday. Up to now, we don't know what the police has concluded in that investigation. If we have any information, we'll pass it over to you. But like I said, let's not convict the man in our mouths in the absence of an investigation, and let us not acquit him too. Let's give the investigation the chance. But I haven't been able to get to Cecilia Clark. George Lobo is a supporter of the Boakai regime. He's here. He will be in the US and he will be on all the shows everywhere in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. He thought we was a bad president and that Boakai would have been the man of the day. Let's look at some of the things his government is doing now. And from an honest, when I'm talking to these politicians, I don't like to say from an honest, sincere perspective, because most of the time, some of them, a lot of them will not do that. But let's talk to George. George, good morning. It's good to always have you, my brother.
Good morning, Clarence. It's good to be
Your
here.
height, just increase it so you can be struggling. Man, you get height, you know that one. Yeah.
It's good to be here once again today, and good morning to my fellow Liberians in Radio Land.
You're wearing too much smart today. What's going on?
I've always been this guy who's smart, given my background of work, coming from the business background, who always dealt with clients, customers. So there was always that positivity that you bring to.
So, George, you're a business guy.
I'm a business major with interest in public service and public policy.
Okay. You talk too much politics.
But
again, public policy is related.
Not only that, as a businessman, you should understand the terrain in which you are functioning, and those government, because in business they say the government is responsible to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. It is the public sector that regulates the private sector, so the government is a key player. So the business world will not survive without knowing how the government is operating. So if the government is bad, why would I put my money in that country? So it means a whole lot understanding that part of it.
And what are some of the things you think can make a government bad and business people don't want to put their money?
Very, very simple things. Depends on the type of investment. For example, why the true investors always like investments as a whole is risk taking. But most of the time when they talk about a conducive environment, now let's take for example a country like Liberia. You need electricity, stable electricity, good roads. You want to make sure that the justice system, because people can seek redress. If someone was to do that you will be able to go to the courts and be able to get legal redress. So those type of things, you want to make sure there's security, because no one is going to establish a factory where people will burn to more money. You want to make sure that your investments will be safe. So on the basis of those things, you look at it. And not only that, especially if I'm going to bring in $2 million investment, I want to make sure that if I put my money into a commercial bank, that those funds will be available when it's time to pay my people. But if banks are liquidated every 6-7 months and they're crying no money, then come on now. Why would I put my money there for my operation? Because I need to take care of my operating expenses.
That's good. I always say to people, money don't like noise. To the extent that if you were to go in the bank right now and get your phone to your ear and talk on the phone, the security come on, man, keep quiet. Money ain't let noise.
No,
money
not at
like
all.
Quiet. George, where are you? Where do you sit? This is your government. Your president is in power. Where are you?
In terms of where do I sit, I'm sitting fine. Clarence, people must understand a couple of things, and I think in Liberia, people believe that in government the only way you can be factored in is if you have a permanent role. That means then in Liberia, I know people like the titles and say, oh, the man is a deputy minister, assistant minister, which is a good thing from a public service perspective. But Clarence, we all who brought this government to power we have the responsibility to ensure that this government achieve the goals that we set out for our regime. And so, for example, making sure that I can communicate and articulate the gains and the progress we are making and stating the accomplishment to the Liberian people is significantly important to me, because here's why. The Liberians are such that we can't wait until 2028 before we begin to tell the people that our government in 2024, when we came to power, Mo Ali expanded water supply to this community. LPRC reduced prices 4 or 5 times. The Ministry of Health did this, and this and that. We can't wait for that time. If we wait for that time, then again, the people, Liberians are such, they say, but why didn't you tell all that time? So the fact that we are keeping people informed and helping to articulate and communicate the gains we are making, whether it's at the port, where Sekou Dukle and his team, reducing the prices at the free port, now free, talk about yesterday, trying to break grounds, we'll soon be breaking ground for the construction of new terminal. We want to bring our people along. We can't wait until last minute time. So for me, Clarence, look, I've always said, whether a permanent role or non-permanent role, I know for a fact that if I was to apply, let's say, to any commercial bank in Liberia today, because I want a bank, I have over 10 years financial experience working in the banking sector. So I have nothing to worry about when it comes to that.
Except that you have not answered my question.
So my question is,
do you have a government job?
No, not a permanent government job, but I strongly believe that.
But you're doing But a lot of consultancies. When you say not permanent,
I mean, it is alleged because I think the CSA have confirmed some of those things.
No, I'm not accusing you. I'm asking.
If I can, that's fine. If I should, because you know, I mean, the good thing about it, it allows me the ability to be able to come out on this radio today. For example, if to say I was working, let's take for example the central bank, I won't be able to sit there to articulate the gains made by the government. Clarence, I'm more interested in protecting the government. Because you can acquire anything in life, but if you don't maintain it, you will not own it. What happens if we were to be run out of power, let's say in 2029, which is impossible and it cannot happen? But guess what? Because we did not take the time to communicate and let our people know exactly how we're performing as a government. Only because we didn't communicate that. And so the communication aspect of what we're doing as a government is very, very important. Like Amos Tuer just said, he was trying, I heard him, trying his best to say, regardless of everything that has happened, we still went ahead and dropped prices. How do our people know that given what order has been said, whether it is Musa Ability and the other folks, the LPRC has been dropping prices? Okay. If that is not communicated, how do the people know? And how do they understand that the dropping of those prices impact trade and commerce?
Okay, George, I just wanted to get a little bit from you. Now, you campaign vigorously using different platforms, including your personal Facebook page.
Yeah.
You know, to talk to the Liberian people. You thought Boakai was the best president. He would have been a better president than we are. We're going 1 year and few months now. Can you talk to anybody? Can you tell anybody that, look, where we are, I think we are making progress. This is the kind of government I wanted. X, Y, and Z. We've made significant, changes in this area. We are making progress. I'm going to sit for some time and listen to your justification of why you think the government is making some progress.
So, Clarence, thank you. I think this is one of the best questions so far in recent time. I am extremely proud, like you said, which I know the history is bad, that indeed I was one of those folks who dedicated and committed my entire time to ensuring that our regime will come to power. And one of the reasons was very, very simple. I strongly believe we had the best candidate who was experienced, a man who had the passion and the vision to transform Liberia. So today, one of the reasons why I'm happy that I can sit there now and be smiling like you asked, and in less than 2 years, Clarence, what we've been able to accomplish as a government, I'm extremely proud. I will begin with just sitting in your studio, Clarence, in front of your studio. In the night, it used to be dark. In the night, when you come here, the entire Lynn Street today is brightened up by our regime. The solar light has impacted the nightlife around Central Monrovia. But even if we were to go sector by sector, Clarence, let's just look at what I've been able to, we have accomplished. Let's look at, I'll go sector by sector. Let's take the financial sector. Before we came to power, you recall during the past regime, the first 1 year, banks were liquidated in this town. There were times where people would send money, people would go to banks and they say, oh, I can't receive my money. There's no money. No money. Today, that is of the past. We've restored confidence to the financial sector. You've seen that deposits have gone up in all commercial banks. People are now building the confidence that when they put their money in the banks, they can go there and they will get their money. Not only that, Clarence, when we came to power, we met gasoline prices, for example, way up than it is today. What has that done for us? The LPRC, under the great leadership of my good friend and brother Amos Tuer, has been able to decrease prices. And what has that done? It has affected trade in terms of commerce. The government has a responsibility to facilitate the movement of goods and services so as to enhance and promote trade and commerce. So when we talk about trade, a man who would take a product from Monrovia, if he was paying high to move that goods from Monrovia to, let's say, Grange, that will affect price because the business never assumed the liability, the cost. It always passes down to the consumer. So today I'm proud when you look at what we've done. Let's take, for example, roads, right? It all ties into the facilitation of trade and commerce. When we came into power, Clarence, our government seeing the need based on our president's pronouncement that no car will be stuck in the mud in the first 100 days. We made one of the greatest interventions into road networks in this country. The $22 million for 2 years road maintenance agreement that was signed. I want to give it out to Minister Giddens and his entire team. What did we do with that intervention, Clarence? There were roads that were not pliable. As a result of those interventions, some of those corridors were pliable. Yes, it is true there were some challenges in some other areas, but today now people are testifying across the republic that you can move from anywhere within 8 hours from Monrovia and get to any part of the country within less than 8 hours. That is what progress is. Let's look at hospitals before we came into power, Clarence. Before we came into power, we knew there was an issue of electricity. Energy was a problem. We saw pictures on Facebook where people were being delivered in clinics around the country. People were using phone lights. Some places, I recall this story in 2019 where 2 persons died at Phoebe because of lack of electricity. Today it is of the past. Clarence, I've been told by the Library of Renewable Energy that over 120 community health centers have been completely solarized, which means there's stable electricity now using solar. So if you look around, Clarence, you can go to the Ministry of Health page just in case, just for the facts checkers. When you look around the country, every single where there are massive projects ongoing, whether it is expansion of health centers, whether it is renovation of health centers, whether it is a construction of new housing units for health workers. Not only that, we've begun the process of moving health workers that have been volunteer for years and years now onto the payroll. So what are we doing? We're not just only improving the facility, the infrastructure, but we are also building capacity. When you look at the number of people being sent abroad for the Ministry of Health, I think some 34 nurses are currently in Kenya, another 32 in China. So what does that do for the country? It enhances the country's capacity in terms of the skill deficit that we have in the health sector. So even if I left health, let's go to water and sewer. Mo Ali, for example, I saw a joke the other day where a little child was saying, they say, what the water name? He said the water name Mo Ali. Clarence, for over 15 years, I live on a bypass next to UL by Johnny Foya compound. I used to go down Jalasta for 2 5-gallon continual water in the morning. Today, that story is of the past. In other parts of Monrovia, Mo Ali and his entire team has restored running water supply across those areas. Today, in Sanikole, for example, there's running water there. In Lofa, in Bapolo, in other parts where they continue now, the phase 2, I think there's a project ongoing where they're going to expand it to Redu, Plebo, and that of Greenville. So, Clarence, my government continue to make progress. For me, I always say this. If I was to leave from here in the next 34 years, let's say if I decided that, okay, I want to return to the United States, I want to go back to the States, I'll be proud knowing that I supported campaign for a regime today that has made tremendous amount of progress. But let's not only look at Mo Ali, let's look at Freeport. When we came to power, the charges that were on continent, what did the government do to enable our people and say, you know what, we want to reduce burden on it? Sekou Dukle, MD, got his team to work. You saw there were reduction in the fare for, I think, a 60-footer container and a 40-footer container. Clarence, every time you reduce prices, it has the fees on whatever you charge for services provided at that entity. It has the ability to impact trade.
Okay,
directly.
Josh. Let me
hold
you there, Josh.
I want to go to agriculture.
I allow you to talk for some time. Let me hold you there. And I wish somebody was here to debate you. It would have been very interesting.
Don't do that, because every time you guys do, it doesn't work well.
Even in the health sector, I know that we are regime sent medical doctors out of the country for specialized training. Some of them came back here. Even you were talking about liquidity problem. I know the legislature doing the RIA regime authorized the printing of new banknotes by the central bank, but we will come. Like I said, I wish you had somebody to debate. Let's come to
you find someone and set that up.
Let's come to Julius. I'll find somebody. Let's look at gasoline price, for example. Okay. What do you say to somebody who argue that one of the reasons for reduction in the price of gasoline is to improve trade and commerce, like you said?
Yeah.
But practically in Liberia, every time we talk about reduction of gasoline, we talk about reduction in transportation fare. LPRC has reduced the price of gasoline more than twice. Transportation price is not changing anywhere. From Red Light to town, the same money. From Banka to Ganta, from Banka to Monrovia, nothing seems to be changing as far as transportation price is concerned. But the gasoline price is reducing. So how is that benefiting ordinary people?
So, Clarence, here are a few things we must not misinterpret.
Okay.
The Ministry of Transport, which I want to give my good friend and brother Ralph Selly Tyler credit for, the Ministry of Transport did roll out a transportation fare, right? One of the greatest challenges, I think, one of the greatest challenge we've had in this country has always been the issue of enforcement, and I think every government needs to look into that. But there's a transportation fare that has to do with from the movement. LPRC reduced prices. The Ministry of Transport were magnanimous in coming out with that fare. And what they've said, I hosted Salif Tyler on ELBC, where I run a little show on Nightline Liberia, and he explained that the thing about it, Josh, until someone complains that they pay someone this amount and they refuse it, and then you get the police involved, then we step in. But I think they should be out there. There should be at least transport inspectors out to make sure that to every parking stations that people are charging the right fee. For example, the MTA, we've not had complaints about the fares being charged.
In essence, you're confirming that your government is challenged with implementation.
Yeah, I want to be honest to some extent. Yes, absolutely. But it does not mean that there were not steps taken to reduce the prices on the people. And look, I try to be, I know you would say sometimes.
So why are you, in other words, I don't know why I should say boasting or grading the government the way you're grading when when other governments fail to implement, and your government too is not able to implement, my friend.
So the very first thing, not that, there are a couple of reasons why I would grade my government. One, my government, through the LPRC, took steps to reduce prices of petroleum product and gasoline. That's step one. Step two, the Ministry of Transport went further by reducing transportation fare by bringing out a price structure. Was that what was done by other governments?
No, but
so you have to look at
all of these things. The overall benefit
is for
you
it to
know, and I
impact
know
the people.
to impact the people.
So that is
a
where,
reduction of the fare.
So
you can reduce the gas price from $10 to $2. The Ministry of Transport can count regulation, but when the regulations are not enforced, you're not making any progress.
So Clarence, but then again, that would be disingenuous to LPRC, who did their job, who reduced prices. So I can't speak to it like that. We have to be fair. We have to unpack it. Why it is true, this is why it is a team effort. It is like saying the goalkeeper was very good. The number 5 was great. The number 6 put the ball up front. The number 9 just didn't score for us. That could be the situation. What happened again at the end of the day?
And when the number 9 scored for
we
us,
might not win.
When we miss our goal and the opponent team scored, then they beat us.
Yeah, but Clarence.
So that is the meat of the matter.
So,
when the number 9 misses the goal and the opponent score his, we are defeated.
So in this case, the difference with the government is that, using that analogy, which is to some extent, the difference with government is that there are a lot of things in terms of enforcement. What the government is saying is that I have set up the price. You go out and pay. If someone says that's not the price, then you get us involved.
No, in most cases, you don't have to have people complaining.
The
government is responsible to enforce the law through the executive.
But what about the Consumer Protection Act by the LTA, for example? If you had issue with a cell phone provider, how many of us has taken advantage of it?
Okay, let's move on. Let's go to, a few weeks ago, the US dollars exchange rate was 200.
Yeah.
10 US bucks or $2,000. Right now, the other day, I was praising the central bank, I was praising the government because the US price has dropped. Right now, you go to some places, they will say 160. You go to places, so 170. Very good. But it is not translating into the reduction of price of basic commodities. So, generally, people are not feeling the impact. Yes, the price has dropped, but nothing is changing.
So, Clarence, again, you see, when you discuss the Liberian economy, you have to be very careful as to what you say. You have an economy that has a dual currency regime, which means you have the US dollar and the Liberian dollar. Both of them are legal tenders, right? And so when one appreciates against the other one is affected. And now the vast majority of the consumers that have the other currency fee hurt. So technically, for example, if the Liberian dollar is appreciating now, right? Those who will be getting paid in US dollar, for them, they see as a disadvantage, right? Because their money will be worth. When they change it now, it's less. Because you are making $300 US, for example, the rate was $200, so you were good. But now, if you're making $300, the rate drops to $180. Then you're not happy, right? But you're absolutely right, and this is one thing again, Clarence. You see, when you roll out monetary policy, right? Because one of the reasons why, from a monetary policy perspective, they always tell you that monetary policies, mostly they are measures. That's when the central bank get involved. The reason why they are short-term measures, they don't last long-term. For them to be sustained, they must be backed and supported by a robust fiscal policy. Now, fiscal policies are the one that take longer. That is the one that requires legislative involvement. But let's look at the Liberian dollar. It is absolutely true. But here's one thing we need to be also careful about, because some of the argument the business community always make is that I bought my goods at the time the rate was $200. That's when I changed my US dollar to send for my goods from China. I changed $2,000 and my goods came. Now the rate dropped to 180, but the goods I have were the goods I bought when I even maybe the rate was 200, but I bought US for 201, and that's when I bought those goods. Do I drop those goods prices in Liberian dollar today when the rate dropped to 180? So we have to be fair. I think there needs to be a transition period within that time frame to say, okay, because it's always going to be the case where people will bring in commodity, and most of our people here, they are not big investors to say they bring in $5 million worth of goods. Someone get a late $10,000-$20,000 and they put all into some kind of low, or let's say they want to bring bags, they want to bring shoes, they want to bring slippers, and the person went and bought US dollar for $201 and the person sent for their goods, right? Or they went Nigeria or went Ghana and bought their goods. If the rate dropped today, you really think, Clarence, let's be honest here, you yourself as a consumer, do you expect that person to just say, given the fact that they bought their US dollar at the rate of 201? They won't just do it right away. So I think what we need to do when we do these things, I think, is to provide that kind of safe haven place to at least say, okay, this is what the price will be. These will be the adjustments from this time to that time. Because let's assume Clarence spent $20,000 and had this much goods in his warehouse. If Clarence was to go down to except Brenda at 180, which he should. But at that time, once it's rolled out, we can say going forward, this will be the new price structure because of the appreciation of the Liberian dollar. Since the rate has dropped, this is what you can charge. But if you notice, you go out, yes, I keep hearing these complaints. I follow most of these talk shows and I listen to Liberians. And sometimes, we have to be realistic about some of these things.
Except that, George, sometimes when people like you and others were in opposition, and the WIA administration was faced with some of these things, you made it look like it was because of incapacity. They were not presiding over the country. They didn't know about administration and fiscal issues. Now you are complaining and justifying most of these things. But let me draw your attention to one other thing that's making rounds across the country, to the extent that people are confused now, Josh. If your license plate go expire right now, you are confused about where to go. And I say this because people are asking people now, where do I go? Josh, what's your take on this Liberia traffic management system and the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Transport situation as far as the printing of driver's license and license plates, is concerned?
So before I answer this question, I just want to go back to one thing before then I answer this. So when you say when the former regime was in power, we made it seem like they didn't know. Clarence, in terms of policy, we seen today, we didn't see it with the former regime. Banks were liquidated, for example. So when banks were liquidated, I mean banks didn't have money. They were getting broke. People were putting their money in banks, they could not get it. Today, it's not the case. So the reason why we can't even talk about prices, because the money that was supposed to be there for you to do business was not even there. There was no trust in the financial system. So we can put that aside. Again, let's come to this Liberia traffic management. I most of the time, before I speak on anything, I like to take some time to read. And what I did when it comes to the LTMI, Clarence, I've read the three Ministry of Justice legal opinions. The Ministry of Justice under Madam former President Salif, Ministry of Justice under former President George Weah, and the current Ministry of Justice under His Excellency President Boakai. And all the three Ministry of Justice opinions have made it clear that the function to issue driver's license and license plate is a function of the Ministry of Justice. That's one that has been established. Now, when you come to the LTMI itself concession, Clarence, it is a legitimate concession. And for me, who say I come from a business background, Clarence, I work for Wells Fargo, the world's largest mortgage servicer and mortgage originator in the world. So which means I have been able to advise people sign 30-year, 20-year, 15-year mortgage agreements, right? Once someone signs an agreement which is legally binding from a business perspective, if it gets tampered with, that's fraud, it's criminal, it's unacceptable. And one of the reasons I try to stay away from the LTMI conversation in Liberia is the fact that as a country, we are having a conversation about a legitimate concession we sign, and in the office of the president, some way, somehow, that document got tampered with. It's bad for business. What does that tell other investors or the potential
in the office of who president?
Former president we are. Because the
document got tampered with.
We got tampered with.
Is that why you know?
That is because if you go back and read the case as a result of why the CDC government begged the LTMI to withdraw their case from the Supreme Court, because they were able to establish the fact that indeed what you guys are saying, one of the major point of contention, and I think we need to provide the education to the Liberian people, one of the major point of contention was that on page 12 of the concession, folks claimed that the services of licensing and that of issuance of license plate was not awarded to the LTMI in the concession. The LTMI said no. And then, so that's when they went to court that no, as per what we agree upon, it is in the agreement. But the thing about the Clarence, you need to find time, read the concession. If it is not in the agreement, you go to page 36, 35, 37. If you read those 3 pages, how do you ask them to give you a percentage of issuance of license and license plate for something you say you excluded on page 12? Make it make sense to me. So you see, from a business perspective, it's bad for the country. It is not a good thing. It does not reflect good, because what you're telling other would-be potential investors, you want to come to Liberia today and sign a 20-year concession. If you leave from here, someone is going to go temper one page because the fee affect them somehow.
In other words, you're saying from what you've read and what you from your comprehension,
yes,
the Liberia traffic management system should go ahead.
They should be allowed. Listen, not all concessions in Liberia I have been fine with. The terms, the circumstances, the conditions around those concessions, I don't. If I have my own way, APM terminal would not be in Liberia. That's one. But again, people live with those concessions. I come from...
And your government is not even able to get APM terminal out. Even though when you were again in opposition, this is something you blame on the Weah regime.
But hold on.
You've come to power now, APM terminal is still here.
Yeah, but hold on now. Now, when I speak and I say if it were left with my one, the government comprises of 3 different branches.
No, I'm just reminding you.
Yeah, but guess what? Let's look at what happened. That's what I said, circumstances, the prevailing conditions at the time. Why? Now, what I expected, the further question would have been, what about the APM terminal you think for which you don't want it there?
No, that would not be my question. My question,
let me
come to the traffic management.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to come back to the APM terminal.
I mean, you've read the document.
You
say you've read the document. Yeah. Other than the court case to say, oh, this is a legitimate contract, this is a legitimate company. What's in that document that you think is very good for traffic management that the Ministry of Transport do not have the capacity to do?
So sometimes too. So the first thing you need to understand the history of the concession as to how it originated, and it originated from the Liberian National Police. If you follow it good, and the idea was that the government don't have the finances and the resources needed to fund police operation, right? So I think the former police directors, I think it was Chris Massaquoi, went to President Selig, because you have to read the background why it came in, and I think their argument to then President Selig was that we need about $15 to $16 million annually for police operation. That means to provide all the logistics, the vehicle, the uniform, everything the police need to make sure that we can enforce the law, right? And the president said, we don't have that money to be giving you people. We've seen the police budget. And so they were smart to say, okay, they said, which function belongs to us? Now, many Liberians think that the Liberian National Police is separate body. No, it's a division under the Ministry of Justice.
It is.
So they are the ones who is supposed to certify you to have a driver's license in the Republic, right? So they said, okay, What will happen if we take this function of ours, give it to someone to do it for us, build our capacity, provide all the support over a period of time? Once we are up and standing running, we tell them, they leave it with us and they go. That was the idea behind it. Okay? And that is why the LTMI came in as per the concession. That's why they say they will invest 40 million over a period of time. They will build centers across the country, and after the 25-year concession, they transfer everything over to the Liberian National Police and leave. Again, are there areas that we could have looked at? Absolutely. Are there things we could have changed? Maybe.
What are some of the areas we could have looked at? Did you read the portion that talks about the percentage? What will go to the company, what will come to the government?
Again, Clarence, investments upfront, right? When someone is making heavy investment around $40 million, right? The very first thing the people do risk analysis about their investments, right? And so the people will say, how soon can I get my money? In terms of the percentages, what do we do? Let's sit and do nothing, right? The government don't make the money it needs. The police don't get the resources they need, and nothing happens. So sometimes you concede, like we did with ArcelorMittal in 2005. We had just come from war. Mittal came to this country, and Judy Bryan was here then, interim president. And then they said, okay, because we had just come from war, we had no electricity, no good roads, a lot of things were lacking. And so we signed a concession with ArcelorMittal. Not that we wanted everything in that concession, but at that particular point in time, ArcelorMittal made sense because why? Again, we needed to get our people back to work. Again, when it comes to other concessions, again, that's why I'm very careful with what I say. Yes, indeed. Now, today, the reason why I can say today APM terminal will not be here, because it's been 20 plus years now since we've ended the war, that we've had stable government. So my point is that within this 20 years, because the Freeport will never be able to make money and support the national budget if its core functions are not carried out by the MPA itself. What MPA makes money from is its operation, and that has been done by APM terminal. So we can't ask MPA to be productive, to support budget, but their main function that should give them money is with APM terminal. So my point is now that whatever the concession would have been, it would have been crafted in a way designed that by this time they will either be transferring all those equipment, everything that will be painted green and white, carrying MPA on it and not APM terminal. That is where I speak from. Okay, so when we come again to the LTMI in the Clarence, we can look at the percentages, but again and say, okay, we can argue on numbers because it's a negotiation. Now, negotiation, Clarence, you will never always get everything you want up front. You have to push for the most out of that concession. But let's look at a few things it does for us. Clarence, the way people drive in this country, I'll tell you.
You think we should still be conceding in 2025 when there's no war again? We should not look at the bigger interest, which is the country's interest?
No, and we should not. We should not at this particular point in time. No, not no more. And this is why I want to say this. I have,
but George, you are dangling about the percentage. You don't want to answer. You
read
the document. What does the percentage area say?
Because they move.
You don't want to come up.
No, so listen now. Is 10, I think 10, 15%. It depends on certain services. It's not specific. From year 1 to year 10, you give this percentage. So let's say, for example, on the issuance of driver's license, right? It says from year 1 to year 10, you will pay this amount. From year this to year that, you pay this amount. From year this to year 25, you pay this amount. So the percentages are not starting. They're not like to say they're straightforward and say, for the next 25 years of the concession, you will pay 10%. No, that's not how it's designed.
We were reading from something that resembles an advisory. Mm-hmm. The government hasn't been able to speak to that. We got this document, every institution we reach out and say, no, we don't know about the document. There's something in that document that talks about 60-40. 60% of whatever goes to the company, 40 comes to the government. And at some point, the MDNC was saying, no, the government can take 70, we will take 30. LMTI is saying the government will take 40, we take 60. There was a percentage.
So Clarence, I have to be, again, like I've always had this done with these conversations. I like to be realistic, right? Those things should be done at the point of negotiations, right? 60-40, depending on You have to look at it from different perspective. If LTMI takes 60 and the government gets 40% out of whatever revenue generated, but let's take for example, LTMI will hire 450 Liberians. Do you factor that into the conversation as well? LTMI will build facilities in 6 to 7 different counties. Is that being factored into the conversation? LTMI will provide uniform for police. LTMI will provide vehicles for police operation. Is that being factored in the conversation? So 60-40 might seem bad from a normal perspective, but what about the other things that come into it? Because if you look at the 300 person who will be higher, what happens? The government will generate revenue from income taxes.
Okay, Josh.
And so you're getting my point. So when I look at business negotiation, there are a lot of things. There are moving parts.
Josh,
you have
we'll
to
hold
look
you
at.
there. Let's go to the lines and take callers right here. The OK Morning Rush. DN News is reporting that Unity Party supporters have staged a go slow at the Monrovia City Corporation, demanding the removal of CDC workers from positions. Who they call CDC worker over there again? They are all Liberians. DN News have been informed that some workers at the Monrovia City Corporation believed to be supporters of the Unity Party have staged a go slow action. Sources say the workers held a protest on Monday. Yesterday, they are calling for the removal of or replacement of several MCC staff members who they believe are supporters of the Coalition for Democratic Change. However, reports say Mayor John Chuck Siafad of the Monrovia City Corporation has refused their request. The mayor says CDC supporters are all Liberians, are also Liberians. And as long as they are qualified and able to do the job, they should be allowed to work. That is the stance of the mayor. That's why we're hearing, yes, they are all Liberians. 0777. You want to say something about that?
Yeah.
Why?
And I just want to call on, if it is true, I want to call on those Unity Party partisans to exercise restraint. This is our government. We promise the Liberian people that we'll be different, and I think there are better ways we can channel our grievances. But to stage go slow at any government entity, it's not a good thing. And I hope that the folks there will be able to speak to Mayor Shafa and see how they can find a solution, right? But again, at the end of the day, all Liberians will have the right to
I
work.
didn't see any. I didn't hear about any protests yesterday. I
No,
don't know
but
if
go
the TN
slow.
News
No,
is
go slow. Go slow. Just saying not
Yeah.
doing nothing. It's not a good
Well,
thing.
anyway,
So myself, I didn't see no protest yesterday in the newspaper. Yesterday, I saw something that said they were planning to protest.
Yeah,
That did
myself,
not happen.
I heard they were planning
to
I
protest.
don't know what they did. Yeah,
Oh,
but DN
but-
News got their reporters over. Probably they were there. on
But
the
yeah,
scene.
we
Okay,
want to be different.
Josh,
from
let's
the
take a
CDC.
call. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This is Prince S. We are commonly as Escotante calling from Virginia, Brooklyn.
Yeah, Mr. Weah, let's hear you,
Mr.
man.
Weah?
Yeah, I listened to our brother in studio.
Oh, Weah can call.
No, I said Mr.
Politically on the issues concerning government. But what I want to say this morning is that this government talk about rescuing 8 people. And now you want to raise revenue. We agree that, oh yeah, these things help the country to grow faster. But then what about the people? How does the people improve their lives when you are raising revenue that harm the citizen? Look at the U.S. rate. I'm making 150 U.S. dollars, and you carry U.S. rate down. At the end of the day, my money go to 75 U.S. dollars from government to go to town. How much do I accumulate at the end of the month? All these things should be taken into consideration.
Okay, sir. Let's go to the line and talk to somebody from the U.S. Hello.
Good morning, Brother Clarence.
Good morning.
What's that?
Yeah, Mr. Johnson, thank you so much.
Just call your name, sir.
It's good to be honest. My name is Zion Clark Cherry. I'm calling from Indianapolis.
Zayangla. Let's hear you, Zayangla.
Yeah, Mr. Clarence, it's good to be honest to ourselves. There are a lot of things that brother say in the city there is not true. During George Weah time, I shipped a Toyota Highlander 2010. I paid $2,400 to free aid. Under Joe Parker, I have all the documents here. I paid $4,400 to free aid. That's number one. Number two, Mr. Dylan Pryor on George Weah riding private jet. He came back and apologized to George Weah. Number three, Phoebe Hospital, thank God, except for using phone line. But this time around, when pregnant women go there, they deny them. They're getting birth to baby outside the hospital. So you need to be honest to yourself, brother. Stop deceiving the people. Thank you so much for the time, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Cheiri. Let me take another call from this other line right here this morning. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Brother, my name is Charles Robert, and I'm in Monrovia.
All right, Charles. Security man talking again.
Yeah, security man had to make public safety announcement. you know, else you will be in danger. You may not know what happened. You know,
They were all Uncle Yas. Let's hear you.
So, after I don't know who come from the advocacy background, what George Lobo is involved with this morning, we all got encounter or in and you know, when we were doing advocacy, some advocacy like unwanted abortion, and you know, the abortion you're not intended to have, and you know, when it comes, you feel bad. You know why he's not giving you the number of percentage? He say, I think, but he read page 35 to
the page 12, the page 12 on the man was quoting a cuckoo.
He read page 12, you know, exclusively and comprehensively, and he read from 35 to 37.
But when it comes to percentage now, he say, I really good. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can understand that there is a problem with what you want to say. No, this one is completely wrong. No, so let's put the percentage now. Let's know what the government benefit. He cleared the tell on that they want to invest 40 million. He want to make them look good for them. But what benefit in that 40 million for government? How long? Is it that the government or the Ministry of Transport are able to raise that 40 million in 20 years? If the traffic, you know, lessening and other things less, you know, the portion of the Ministry of Transport is not able to raise that 40 million in a year. It's about 300% will be higher. So all the people that are now will be jobless. What happened to them?
Okay.
We are political people. We are political people. So your people who continue to bring you to power, you want to get out of job. Not because you have started with a concession there and they give you all the sound they're sorry and you don't care about those people who are in the ring for you. I cannot sit there as a security man and
thank you, Charles. Thank you
very much.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Charles, thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, yeah.
Okay, I was
yeah, this is Richard calling from Central Monrovia. Yes, I want to say a very big thank you to George Lobo Institute.
Yeah.
He articulated the issue well. Yeah, but my issue has been due to the DNTV news saying that universities want to take citizens from their job, which is not true.
Okay.
There is no way.
Do you work with the city corporation?
Yes, I work with the Monrovia City Corporation.
Okay.
And I know that there are no discussions that are being held.
Okay.
Even up to today, that Unity Party people want to take citizens from their job.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to my dear friend and brother Josh Lobo.
Good morning.
This is Jeff Chesson.
Former Assistant Minister Jeff Chesson.
Great.
Yeah, so
Jeff.
Just a few quick points, all right? You mentioned about people going to hospital and being under full light. That is true. But at least women will not die on the street at giving birth because the hospital will turn them away. Concerning the traffic management, you should have read the advisory note that came from the LRA.
That's the LRA say they didn't come from the with Chesson, but that the note I was telling him about. I said there's an advisory note that came that is advising the government.
Exactly, you should have read that. And as somebody who has interest in this country, you will never support that arrangement. So that this is dangerous for our people. And it's good that you are admitting, a Unity Party supporter, you are admitting that the government has issue with implementation and enforcement. Yes, they do have, because the policy they are implementing a knee-jerk policy. There's no way anybody can set prices in the market. It's the market forces that will set prices. As I speak to you, I've sent withdrawal slip to the bank. For more than 3 days, I cannot get Liberian dollars. You were saying that we couldn't get money during our administration from the banks. I can
the central bank had how do you call it, hotline. They say we'll go to the bank. They say no money, we must call.
What kind of economy is that? What kind of economy is that? I've been to the bank more than 3 days.
But the central bank is saying, just in the central bank said there's not a lack of Liberian dollars. They say we got enough Liberian dollars on the market.
And that's a deception about this government. They continue to deceive the Liberian people. But the actual consequences are being faced by the ordinary Liberians.
Okay, Chelsea. Let me give George the benefit of the 5 minutes.
So at least let me be very quick. Let's come to what's it called, Mr. We are who said we came to rescue the people, but how are we going to improve the people's life? We're trying to raise revenue. I think he misunderstood what I said. I was speaking in terms of context. I said in terms of negotiation, if it was split up 60-40, that's when I said, but what happens if we hire 400 or 500 persons? So those people who will be working, from their income, government will generate revenue from that. That way I spoke about revenue. I didn't say we're carrying prices off for revenue purpose. No, I never said that. Zagat spoke about he paid $2,500. I think that the guy from Indiana, and he said the prices now they're too high. Clarence, I don't want to say that. I think your show runs a fact check team. Let's just find out if the MPA, since we came to power, under the leadership of Sekou Dukle, we know that prices were dropped for a 60-footer container and a 40-footer container. And I'm not going to sit there to be arguing on certain things. So the facts are out there. Let's go to my good friend and brother, Charles Robert. Charlie, again, I would say this, why it is true, we will always have differences of opinion. I didn't come here to discuss LTMI in specific, particularly. You heard Clarence. But I think anything that has to do with national issues, I think if you go somewhere, you should be prepared to have at least an understanding of it. And that is why I read it. I didn't read it because I was coming to advocate for them. Because if that's what I was doing, I would have been doing it every day.
Okay, let me hold you there. Let me take the corporate communication manager at the Central Bank of Liberia, Councillor Alfonso Zion. I'm sure he wants to respond to something. Councillor, let's hear you.
Yeah. Thank you, Clarence, for the opportunity. I just wanted to address the issue raised by the last caller.
Yeah.
The central bank is not in politics. And what we're doing is a piece of professional job. We have said repeatedly that as of the 3rd of September this month, commercial bank balances reflect $1.65 billion. And as a matter of fact, the reserve of the commercial bank doubled to $2.2 billion as of September compared to 2024. We know there is money in the commercial bank, and we have made the point to everyone. If you go to a commercial bank and somebody tells you there is no money, call the central bank hotline. So the emphasis is that we are not in politics, we do a professional job. The central bank is an independent institution. There is money in it, and it's not a deception on the part of the government.
Okay, Councillor. Thank you, Councillor Zion. Thank you, George. Sorry, I had to just...
That's fine. That was good. Okay, it was good that he provided the clarification because I was going to say something like that. But let me say, so to Charles Roberts' perspective, Charlie, there's a reason why I didn't give a specific percentage. And Clarence, I will share with you the document. The reason is because the percentages changes from time to time. It is not static. To say, for issuance of driver license, for example, the LTMI will give the government 20%. That's not how it's stated. It's stated, it's broken down, say, I think 15, I think, again, that's why I want to be clear about it. It's broken down over a period of 24 years, or 25 years, as per the agreement. But what I know is because it's a bulk number as to how much they will invest upfront. So that one is easy for you to know, which is the $40 million that is expected to be invested upfront, right? Now, Charles talk about people who work in, and Charlie, I don't want to get into all of those things because at the end of the day, this was a function being done by Ubuti, and we know recently he was even appointed on the CDC committee for the construction of their new party headquarters. And if that is the argument, then if the police feel that this will support them, and let me say this, why it is good we come to the radio to have these conversations. But Clarence, I think we should put some of the facts out there. You know that the Liberian Senate, upon when we took over first, had an investigation into this matter, where recommendations were made to the president. Even the other day, that's why I think I read a piece from the judiciary chair on the Senate chair on judiciary. I don't know if you read it.
Albert.
He wrote something about it.
Wrote
something about it, and I would advise that we read into those things. Like I said, Clarence, I read the different opinions, and that is where I was speaking from. Now, let me come to Jeff Chessie. I think my good friend and brother, former minister Chessie, I will show respect for public service, something that you lack. This is one man who runs around, who calls the president of the republic by his first name. He does that with even the ministers.
Yeah, but they show not about that man.
No, it's not about him, but no, I responded to him first. So let me just say this. The very first thing, he's always speak from an ill-informed, ill-prepared perspective. He had an opportunity. He sat across the CDF from me, struggled to express a complete
The man not here, why you talking like guest speaker?
Man. But the man
but
was,
you know that man, you not
the man was here, he was yelling here.
Where?
Clarence,
Where?
I'm not sure the man right in the studio. Listen,
Where?
I'm not sure that man. Oh, yeah, she was in the studio with us. That man
was saying the
struggling.
same thing.
Hey, Clarence, listen. It's not how many times you call the radio yelling that makes you an intellectual. When you discuss national issues, look, your level of understanding, your comportment, the way in which you articulate the issue, people will know. You ain't got to kind of be yelling and be knocking. Amen.
Address the issue, let go.
So on the issue, let me say this.
I will debate. I will organize a debate with you and him.
Nah, he struggled the first one.
I say on my show.
Hey, Clarence, it will not be a good thing for him. I will
Go
not
ahead,
do that.
go ahead.
So let me conclude on this. Jeff, I will not argue on the issue of healthcare. Clarence, I think while we're talking, sometimes you should be able to pull up some of these things and look at the Ministry of Health and see the level of investment being made in improving the healthcare delivery system across the country. Jeff, listen, the former U.S. ambassador report was clear that you guys, your government allocated monies for purchasing of equipment for 6 years. Not a single MRI machine was bought for any clinic in the Southeast. Let's just go to the Southeast because I want to make it regional. And for you to be running around, calling radio, talking about the Poaka policy, sir, I think, like I said, when there's time for us to campaign, Clarence, we will campaign. But for right now, I'm strongly convinced, I will say this, Clarence, my government has done tremendously well, and I want to thank Dr. Luis Poto. Just a matter of fact, because of that, Clarence, I've decided that sooner or later I will towards some counties to assess some of these new health facilities and to look at some of these hospitals. But just for Phoebe, I was born at Phoebe, Jeff. I grew up in House 46. Don't lie on Phoebe because I'm always in Banga. So I know there's the desperation from you guys, but it's not about
you
lies.
You don't shift the discussion to the mayor.
No, but I remember the last
you don't
so
one issue.
No,
but Central Bank made some clarity.
No, so listen, let's come to it. So with regards to the Labrenda, yesterday I withdrew money from GT Bank in my Labrenda account. So where people coming from to say that no Labrenda, but here's something I do know for myself, right, Clarence? Because I trade in the Central Bank T-bills. I don't know if you're aware of that. Every Thursday, sometime if I got money in the bank, I convert to Labrenda to put it into investing in Central Bank T-bill. But as far all over, I've not heard of a shortage about Labrenda. There's nothing. And then to prove you, Clarence, if you want, I can leave from here just now. I will stop at the bank. I will withdraw Labrenda. I will send you the picture. So tomorrow on your show, I will
send
call
me picture. Anybody can take picture. You say I will send you 100,000 Labrenda so you can know that Labrenda. You take picture. La people take picture. I got a boy. What are you doing with picture?
No, but
anybody can take picture. Come
no,
here.
Okay.
I can take money from my pocket. I'll take the picture. I'll send it to you.
So let me
okay, myself will send you picture. Yeah.
No, so okay, I'll be in the bank. I'll call you live when I get the money. But listen, I have no doubt in the leadership at the Central Bank. That's one thing I'm proud of. I know that there are consummate professionals there from Samoa, James Wilfred, and the entire leadership there. I think those guys are up to the task. This is one reason they've stayed. They've been apolitical, and I want to thank them for the job they're doing. Their monetary policies are effective, impacting the economy tremendously, positively, and I want you guys to continue. Today, commercial banks are being held to books. And the Central Bank have been providing so many different training to build capacities, even for journalists when it comes to reporting. So I have no doubt in the Central Bank's ability. While it's true, I understand people will use everything to run propaganda. They can be political as they want to, but I'm glad that we have a professional Central Bank and a good leadership there.
Okay, Mr. Josh.
That's my parting comment.
Lobo, yeah, just give her your parting comment.
So
in few seconds.
In few seconds, Clarence, I want to say thank you for the invite, and I want to thank all Liberians. Listen. We are now where we want to get. We know the promises we made, and one of the reasons why we will get there, we will pass there, Clarence. And I can assure you, we'll make this country better than it was when we came into power in 2024 January. Thank you, Clarence.
Okay, George, thank you so much. It's good to have you always. Anybody can say that. Jefferson, listen, I'm gonna bring you again. Okay, but we're taking a break, man. When we come back here, the Director General of Fire Service, Oswald Bolver, will be our guest right here in studio. We'll talk about firefighting and the Liberia Fire Service. Okay, George Lobo was here, a staunch supporter of the government. He say he get no job, boy. He said that allegation. Somebody told me the man doing 10 consultancies.
Whether rich or poor, why not pray for a long fellow? He can pray for a long life. As long as they live, you know, the better we grow. Power, you find, it can make you heavy. It's just like a volcano, they pray to capsize. Sweet, it's our liver. Not for go alone. Human being can eat it. Other people can eat it. Kiss our liver. Kiss our liver. Oh, sweet kiss our liver. Not for go alone. You take it from Peter today, or Paul will take it from you tomorrow, Mama. You check it from me right today, oh mother will check it from you tomorrow. Fine, oh by your fine, may in your fever. Well, people do to you, you dare to cry. Have enough for one person, oh, it's a matter of time.
Okay.
After me is a lesson, yeah, rather this I had. Sweet kiss I will leave out. Not for go alone, mama. Human being can eat it, oh, the deer can eat it.
Okay, the head of the National Fire Service is here. We'll take him very shortly. I'm getting younger.
Sweet is our liver. Not for go alone. Human beings can eat it, or a creature eat it too. Sweet, living is sweet, whether rich or poor. When I pray for long fellow, he can pray.
Okay, Jones Dopo. I'm just creating to my love for this song. Pray, don't pray for long life. I mean, you don't pray for long fellow. Only life it prays for. Because once the bread is living, trust me, the fellow will grow. And that's why power it's good, oh. It's got comfort. It makes you happy. You know, it comes with authority and everything. But it is like a cookie, no. It's quick to capsize. When it capsizes, then we start calling you farmer. Okay, we have the head of the Liberia National Fire Services here. His name is Waswa Buffer. Bavo. They may last me I told you that switch they will tell you before I pronounce it one day. But he's here in our studio. He's our guest this morning. He participated in an international training. I heard him in the news this morning talking about the Freeport explosion and what the fire service is doing about it. Chief, good morning. It's good to see you again once in a while. You were very busy, but it's good to see you, man.
Good morning, Honorable Jackson, and I'm happy to be in the studio. Thanks to the OKM family for the job you do. Every day you get out early to come and provide information to the people.
Yeah.
And that is great. We appreciate so hard.
So what's the correct pronunciation of your last name?
Oh, I'm Bese Waswa Bavo.
Bese Waswa Bavo. So you are Bavo.
Bavo, yeah. Oh, don't get used to that name because only people who know that name can call it Bese.
The Bese.
Yeah.
If you see somebody now won't call Bese knee, that way down the line that knee will plenty things happen. But generally, man, how is life?
We give God the glory.
Okay.
Now, every day I wake up in the morning, I say, God got me. In the evening, I say, God, as I rest, take charge.
It's good.
Because you go to bed, you don't know what happened around you. You wake up in the estimate. A lot of people go to bed at night, and some don't wake up. So when you are up, you give God the glory.
Are you a twin?
Indeed, I am.
That's what I know.
Number
because
3.
Once you say you gotta be you twin in most of the okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're number 3.
Yeah.
You're a triplet. All of you are alive?
No, I'm the only one. So don't try me.
I see what. Don't try me. Well, that before, man, and I 2025. But how is the fire service generally? How are the men and women? How is the force? Let's talk about general welfare first. We'll talk about a lot of issues. How is the force? Do we have the number we need in the country? Are there pressing needs for additional training? Do we have the competent, qualified men and women we're supposed to have?
No, we are not there yet. Our plan is by the time we get to 2029, we are trying to be around 1,005 across the country. By that time, holding everything custom, we have built stations across the country for the people to be there and serve the people. But you talk about the welfare, we are trying. Before I enter here, there was a commendation sent to me by one of the officers for the job we are doing. Right now, each of them have 2 sets of uniform. We're bringing equipment. I went to the state. There are other logistics that will be coming to help them do the job. And yesterday, one of our officers, strong firefighter, female driver, I had to go visit her at the Cali Hospital. She was admitted there. So we're trying to see how we can get her discharged from there today. So, we are concerned about the welfare of our people. Even we got a committee, and our officer is sick, the committee goes there to go see how the person coming on, and we have to interview.
At the moment, is it safe to tell us what's the strength of your manpower?
Oh yeah, we are at 763 right now.
763.
Yeah.
All of that number concentrated in Monrovia?
No, across the country.
How much do you have in different counties?
Some counties legit. Some are 5, some are 4. So we're trying to, and that's why we had a tour. We toured Region 1, Region 2, and Region 3. That is Lofa, Bon, Nima, Magibi, Masorado, Basa, Bapolu, Bumi, and Cape Mount to know what is going on. And hopefully this dry season we will be going to the southeast to see the situation there as well. So that the essence of the tour was to go and assess the needs of the fire department and what the constraints our people are going through, and they have a lot of volunteers, that are working, and we hope that this budget process that is coming up, we are advocating for recruitment, and they will be given the priority if they meet the requirement, because they are there volunteering to serve the people in the Republic of Liberia. We took over the fire service. There were a lot of people who were brought in, were not trained. So right now we're working to see how we can bring them to speed. We want to carry them for training, so that you can be in a system, you don't know about the system. So that the first target we have to bring the people up to speed so that they can know about the department, go through the fire science, a vigorous one. So when they get out, they will know that indeed that's a process before we go to the recruitment.
Is the building hosting you your own facility?
No, sir. That is not our own. That building is a rental building. It does not even represent the fire department. And so we want to make the case for the coming budget year so that we can go to another building while we also fighting to build our own headquarters.
Sometimes I don't know how these government things are done, but take for example the building you're in, right? Mm-hmm. It is your current headquarters, right? Mm-hmm. In all parity of reasoning, if somebody wanted to construct that kind of building, it ain't even $200,000. So if you can have $500,000 maybe, 250, 300,000 to construct a lasting headquarters for fire service in Liberia. How is it sometimes when you have international friends coming to visit the fire service in Liberia and they walk in our place and it's like that, your headquarters?
It can be so embarrassing. I was in Africa the few days. Man, you look at the guy's headquarters. So many hectares of land. enter the guy's compound beside the administrative building. They got the medical area. They got a place for the firefighters. Domicile. They got the canteen. They got the maintenance area. They got football field. They got gym. They got swimming pool. They even got their own fuel station in that compound. I'm like, wow. But
I think you know that all fire chiefs are not equal. But Bavo, let me sit for some time and listen to you, man. Let's talk about progress. What are some of the progress you've made, your administration? You and all your deputies. What are some of the progress you've made at French that you want us to know about?
So, when I approached to take the job, I developed a proposal and gave it to the president at the time, President-elect, and now the president. And I have 5 pillars. Pillar one, we want to look at our strategic plan, because everything you do, for me, I believe in planning. We are also working with that. We framed the first internal stakeholder meeting. We'll be having the second one, and then we have the external stakeholder meeting. We validate it and get it printed. Then the second thing was to training. Everywhere I go, I advocate for capacity building. So I said that's one of the pillars that we'll be looking at. The third one is decentralization. We want to make sure that the operation of fire station not only be in Masurado or the central Monrovia, but across like most of the country. We want to build a fire station in Buraville, so that when it's fire in that area, that fire station can respond while backup coming from other stations. The same thing with Dixville, Johnsonville, Fender. In fact, we are in a negotiation with university. They are given the permit to give us a place right on the road there at the intersection. And we want to be Marshall, another place. Banga, all the headquarters of the country. And Clarence, between Kakata and Banga, in between there. I also thinking about if we have the support to build a substation either in Totota or in Wela, so that anything that happens along that road, they can have a response team. Like the situation in Totota the other time, if we had a substation there, it would be easier. The casualty will not go that much. At least the people have responded, to put the situation under control. So we are also thinking about that. We are thinking about the various countries. Like I went to Banga. Banga needs a station. Like Lofa. I went to Foya as well. All right? And we're in Foya. These guys go and discharge the flammable substance in the open. We had to arrest the tanker and turn it over to the police. You got 1,000 gallons of gasoline and you discharge in the open. Soon as somebody passing with a cigarette, it'll be a hell.
Is it discharge in the open? What do you mean? Practically.
Putting it in continuum.
Okay. Among people.
Yes, right on the road, and they put in the continuum, putting it in a house. That was very dangerous. We want to see about that. And then we talk about the headquarters. We want to see whether if we can have the support to build our own headquarters, because every year we pay money to people.
When I was talking about progress, these are plans.
I come in there. Okay, I just want to tell you these are the plans we have, right? But for now, I think you saw the trucks with the equipment that we brought in. All right, that I'm talking about. We're trying to train the people, internal, in service training. Those people that are there who were not trained, who have taken good training, we want to do that. And we brought in some materials. We got some friends who have been helping us with hoses, PPE, CBA, and so we are making progress into line capacity building. By November, we got a team coming in, a group called Africa Fire Mission. All right, they are working in Kenya and other countries, but they want to come to Liberia and assess our situation and see how bad they can be.
What kind of assessment are coming from?
Well, just look at the fire department, what need we have, so they can intervene as well.
Don't you think sometimes that often can make people feel sick when sick in the context of international guests coming, they come in on serious assessment and they come to that place. They will just feel that the people here aren't in the serial. You so?
But that's what we have. You know, we used to be on Carey Street, right? And then move the office to that building. You know.
Now, we are in September.
Yeah.
We'll soon get into October and gradually the dry season, the trouble season in Liberia.
So one of the major things is awareness. So if you look at the statistics, there's a drop from January down. All right. So this coming drastic, as we look at the reports, the analysis, so those areas that we realize there are a lot of frequent outbreak of fire. That's 1603. We're going to engage that community. All right. And we want to work with how they call it, LEC, because most of the fire is electrical. So what are the how they call it need for the people who can illegal connection, all the kind of thing, you know, power theft, you know, so they can look at it and maybe see reason how to connect the people to on time. Because if the people are not connected, so now you go to some community, you see the wire running on the ground.
And sometimes some of the community, the people don't hire the right technicians. They just take anybody say, but man, just can't connect my stuff.
And let me tell you, in this country, the standard wire is the European wire. They call it European wire, right? And we got a wire in the town they call chains wire. Call it chains because you're picking chains. So you hire the man, you don't know. The man will bring the scene, they'll bring the wire that has the scene number 12, number 10. And why your house sometimes are experiencing problem. So it's always good to hire a qualified electrician and you yourself go to the store and buy the material. Don't let them buy your material.
Okay. So I was about to say to you that we're approaching the dry season. The toughest season, as far as your job is concerned.
Sure.
What can you tell us? Should we lay by and relax? Are you on top of your gains? Do you have all of the equipment in the context of firefighting equipment? Do you have everything? Too many times we cry on the government to support you. Buy these people truck. Buy these people this. Where are we now for the other dry season?
Oh, yes.
Are we better off than the last one?
We are better than last year. We are better than last year. Clarence, had it not been the fire service yesterday at that scene to Freeport, it's going to be a different thing today. Right? And we got there and we put the situation under control. So what we're saying here is that, look, we fire 3 ways, before, during, and after. Before is the prevention aspect, and not only the fire department. We do not set the fire or put the structure on fire. It is the people, mistake, carelessness, or ignorance. So we all got to be involved. As we provide you the education, put into practice. Take the precaution. So in the process of putting those measures in place and there's a mistake or fire outbreak to carelessness, well, we come in to put the situation under control. And after we do that, I want to know what was the cause of the fire. If we investigate, want to know what the cause of the fire, whether somebody got injured, whether somebody died from there. If the property got damaged, what is the estimated cost of that property? We'll do all of that and do the analysis. That is why when the president gave you a message in January, he gave me statistics about fire.
Yeah, so give us a picture now. Where are we? How many trucks do we have?
Oh, yes.
Be
yes. We are on top of our game. The first 8 truck that came, the mini truck, right? We have that. Then on the 2 last year budget, we were about 6 new engine fire truck, rear fire truck, and 2 tankers for backups. Because you can see, we can go see the fire, don't come back forward. So those tankers will be there to back up the responders, and they can also fight fire as well. They will bring in 2 fire jeep as well. So we are on top of it.
So in terms of we're almost talking about 14, 15 vehicles.
Yes. So right now, Magibi is equipped. We have a truck there, and we're thinking about buttressing Nima and Grand Basso.
Okay. So, but we have almost all of those things in Monrovia at the moment.
Yes, at the moment.
Do we have the trained firefighters to fight fire?
Oh, yes. We have 3 men. And there are people there, if you move them from the station, they cry. Because, they have committed their lives to saving lives and property. So, the guys are committed.
Is there something difficult to fight fire the way we, is it as easy as we think in our minds? We who are not the technicians?
It's not easy.
You think so?
But you got to know the techniques. Clarence, if I tell you hold that nozzle, you don't know how to hold it, it will knock you down.
Wow.
Yes, so the guys are trained to hold the nozzle. You see, they don't stand there the normal way. They got a way of staying to hold that nozzle. And while you're staying there holding the nozzle, you got to back up. All right? And the guys tells the engine operator to increase the pressure or lower the pressure. So the techniques in fighting fire, you don't just go up fighting fire. When you go to go fight fire, you look for the seat. You don't blow the water on the flame. If you do that, you discharge the water.
What is seat? What are you talking about? Where the fire started?
Very well. So, because once you control the seat, the flame will be in the air, no support from down. Will not go. You see, as you frying or you cooking, boom, there's fire in the oil. Or you got to just take the tap and cover it. Whether there's no contact in oxygen, that fire will go off.
What is this rumor that you have rented some of your fire trucks to Aslam and Tar?
Oh yes, it was good. The country here, people can just say things to, I want you to read this letter.
Okay.
What
letter is this? Skyline Shipping and Logistics.
Yeah.
Honorable G. Wozua Bafo, Senior Director, Liberia National Fire Service, Nippon Street, Memorial, Liberia. Dear Honorable Bava, request for fire safety services and site assessment for mining operation in Nimba. We present our compliments and respectfully write to request the services of the Liberia National Fire Service in connection with our upcoming mining activities scheduled to take place in Nima County. As part of our commitment to safety and compliance, we are seeking your assistance in carrying out a comprehensive fire safety assessment of the operational site. Given the nature of mining work and the potential risks involved, such as fire or explosion, we believe it is crucial to engage the Liberia National Fire Service, the national authority responsible for fire prevention and emergency response. We are kindly requesting that a qualified team along with the requisite logistics visit the site to inspect the premises, identify possible fire hazards, and ensure that all necessary fire safety measures are in place and maintained throughout the duration of the operation. We propose Tuesday, September 9, 2025 as a date to begin the exercise and would be grateful if your office could confirm your availability. Please feel free to contact us at your earliest convenience to coordinate all necessary details. We look forward to your support in helping us maintain a safe working environment. Thank you for your kind attention and anticipated cooperation. Yours sincerely, signed Ara Bobbitt Sompong. September 9, Councillor and Oxford Tour, Minister of Justice, blah blah blah. Councillor Tour, I present my compliments and write to inform you that we receive a communication from the Skyline Shipping and Logistics requesting the services of the Liberia National Fire Service to support their mining activities scheduled to take place in Nima County. In view of the above, please advise the National Fire Service as to whether we can assist them in carrying out a comprehensive fire safety assessment of the operational site and position a team and equipment on the site for the 3 to 4 months. Please see the attached. I look forward to hearing from you as soon as our response, considering the nature of the work. This letter is coming from you, Balfour. Then this is from September. So you wrote September. These people wrote you September 9. They seen September 9. They wrote the Minister of Justice. The Minister of Justice responded September 11. Honorable G. Waswa Boffer, the Director of Fire Service. Dear Honorable Boffer, we acknowledge your communication in which you informed me that Skyline Shipping and Logistics Incorporated is requesting the services of the Liberia National Fire Service to carry out a assessment for mining operations in Nimba County. Your request is hereby approved, and you are advised to send professional technicians to provide the necessary assistance to the institution. Councillor Oxford to Anthony General Liberia, he signed this.
So we're not renting the equipment. People ask us to support them. And we are in the business of providing protection for people.
Is it a private company?
Yeah. So
they're asking for 3 to 4 months?
Yeah, will be every month we change the team. All right. And the only thing they told us they want to do, they will provide housing for the guys, and stipend, and fuel for the engine. That's all. When people talking about rent truck.
Do you know any other mining company or anybody is requested same from you, or is that a practice?
No, normally when the people have situation like how they call it, the palm farm in Cape Town, right? They had a situation that we were there. There was a fire in a farm. We were there for weeks fighting that fire. So anybody, the concession area can.
But this one is that you're going to be stationed for like 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, we assess the situation. After the first month, if the need be, we stay there. If not, we will draw the team. So we're not renting equipment to people.
Okay. What are some of the challenges at the moment?
Yes. Especially with our community people. So somebody will call, hello, yeah, there's fire in Johnsonville. What part of Johnsonville? Says, Pepper Wuta. You go to the place, you call in that number, the person will not pick up. And you go to the place, they think the sign of the fire is smoke. You will not see nothing. So that will refer to as false alarm. So people will just call. Like we are praying that our partner in Ivory Coast will work with us today. They got a call center. If you call Clarence, your name will reflect. Where you are, your number will reflect to show who calling. If it is real, the guys will know before they send the engine there. But sometimes we go to these places, we just burn fuel from one point to another, and there's no fire, and you got to come back. So that fuel you burning to go while they come back, you could reserve it for a real action. That's one of the challenges. The second thing is that we hope that this budget year, like we have the additional in the public sector investment plan, that the authority will see reason that will begin to build substations across the city and in the county. Because when we do that, the pressure will be reduced from the station on Ashmont Street, because the Ashmont Street station is supposed to focus only on Central Monrovia. The one in Pinsville is supposed to focus on in Pinsville. The one in Galanville, in our terrain. But we start running from there to come to town to come for a fire. That means, So we need to build stations across the country. And we need to recruit. Right? And these engines, we need heavy duty drivers. Anybody can just drive it. So as we look forward to working with them to see whether we can recruit more drivers,
So what are you going to do to put a stop to that thing you were talking about? People call you and you go there?
Well, so yesterday we had a meeting. I told my people, when there's a call, you verify it before the engine moves. Because if you don't do that, you will run from here, go way to Johnsonville. If you just burn resources or, burn the fuel, and that fuel should be reserved for real work.
But that company is a profit-making institution. What is the government benefiting from fire service going there for 4 months? They're making profit. It's not free. They are a company. What's coming to the government? What's coming to you? What's coming to the government?
Well, that's why I said we're going there to see for the first month. We have not reached any agreement with all. I know that you are supposed to be responsible for the men that are there at all. We are there to provide the safety, do the assessment. That's what I know of.
Okay. What do you want as a budget to allow you to do the kind of work you want to do? What do you think? What have your experts done?
Yeah, I think in the PSRP, we are looking at around 20 million to build our headquarters.
To do the kind of work you want?
Yeah.
What do you have now?
Right now, the core budget is around, I think, 500 and something. So the project budget will boost it. We're going for budget year tomorrow.
Your national budget ain't really $1 million, huh?
I mean, talking about the core budget with goods and services.
No, I'm talking about, okay, let your budget, your national budget for this year. What was the budget year? The current budget.
The current budget year, we're around 3 billion plus.
3 million plus.
Personnel costs.
Okay.
Personnel costs.
Okay.
Personnel costs.
We have of us basic The best I want to call it busy, well, aren't you? We have busy
trouble now.
Buffer. He is the director of the Liberia National Fire Service. He's our guest right here on the OK Morning Rush on 99.5 this morning. Let's go to the telephone lines and take a few calls from the people listening to the show on 0777-700-9995. Open the line this time because I want to give you the opportunity to call and ask questions, and then you will have sufficient time to respond to some of your concerns. 0777-700-9995 are the numbers to call. Good morning.
Good morning, Sergeant Clarence Charson. And let me say good morning to the studio guest, Mr. Beaufort, of Fire Service. My name is Robert. I'm probably new as political slacker in the movie. I call you this morning from the similar headquarters of the Medical Localization Concourse. Actually, let me appreciate Brigadier Beaufort for his tremendous work he's doing in terms of transformation of the fire service. Yes, last year was a serious challenge, maybe based on political alignment. But actually, there's transformation in terms of uniforms, in terms of procuring jobs and all that. So as I said, we pray the attention of national government and the legislature to increase the budget, because for the work he is doing, following him, when the budget increase, what he intends to do, it will be done, and our fire service will be transformed. We hope that next year should not be like last year.
Okay, thank you. Let me talk to you here. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah?
This is Mohammed JB Lassana calling from Freetown. Clarence, listen to your guest in liberating law for our national government had to improve the people budget. Because whenever someone want to do a good work, it needs support from the government. They elaborate well. I'm on Liberian, but I just traveled this on Sunday to Freetown, and I'm watching you from Freetown.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Listen to it, yeah.
Thank you. Hello?
All right.
Hello, do we have you? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah?
This is Flomo, Johnson Flomo. I call from Iron Gate.
Mr. Flomo, let's hear you.
Yeah. So, as you talk about the equipment, the material, so you want, can we rest assured that each country has two of these things, or one? How many each country has?
Okay. Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, how are you?
Yes. Yeah, my name is Mohammed Kamara. I call from somewhere on the Somalia Drive.
Yeah, Mohammed.
Yeah, so let me say thank you to your guest, a big brother that I've known for some time from Bapuru. So, Clarence, I went to school in South Korea.
Okay.
And when I was in school in South Korea, I had the opportunity to attend the national disaster workshop with the South Korean government. And I had some interaction with the deputy manager for international service. And at the time, I tried engaging the fire service authority here, especially through Emmanuel Farr. At the time, they have just taken over. And I later on talked to Edwin Taser. I even sent them email. I sent them templates that the national disaster management authority from South Korea gave me to share with my country, that they can provide some assistance to country like Liberia, because I made a case for Liberia 2024 when the government just took over. There was so many fire incidents in the country, and I made that case. And since then, I even came back to Liberia. I visited the office. I have not seen them doing anything, so I don't know what can they do. And say that around, I can help them to connect them again to that authority if they need be.
That's good. That's patriotism. Hello?
Hello, I'm Jackson. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you for your show this morning. And I admire you for this referring to the Petroleum.
Yeah.
Yeah. We listen to the fire service. We are limiting the grade of futures in the fire service. But I'm asking this question. The issue that took place yesterday to Simenko there. And the people got a lot of brains to budget, they got a lot of brains to 16th Street. What can they say about it? And asking everybody there's a bomb. And you can't be in the seat of our government.
Okay. So, but just ask a man, the man will respond. Don't ask him and conclude. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Clarence. My name is Clifford Russell, and I call from Monrovia here.
Mr. Russell, let's hear you.
Yes. Thank you to the government and women of the Labrador Fire Service. The work has been incredible in recent time. It has been amazing, and they have improved a little bit as compared to latter years. But I am specifically, my attention is specifically drawn to a particular issue that I was even thinking about the last time, and I have taken keen interest when the director mentioned that they have been receiving, like a false call or, people raising false alarm, causing them to use free fuel. Now, here is what I wanted to say. Centralism has been our problem in this country. Now that we have at least over, I think, 5 or more fire service trucks, why not have these trucks decentralized to some of the police stations in and around Monrovia? For example, in Congo Town, where we have this one city, you can place one truck there, have a number there, and say, okay, people from LT as far as up to Congo Town 540 or apparently around Boulevard Junction, if there is a problem, please call this number. This truck will be assigned here. You do another truck at another police station in Painsbury. At the Painsbury police station, you put another truck there assigned it. Have a particular number there, and it can be right at a police station where people can call in, and if there is any problem, that car can easily be able to move from that.
How does that stop people from faking, from lying, and the people burning their gas and go there? How does that stop it?
Come again?
How does that stop what he said that some people can just call them falsely when they go there, nothing happening?
Yeah. No, so the thing is, parents, they will always be playful people. But like I'm saying, for example...
Oh, you're saying that for decentralization purpose.
Come again?
I'm saying you are saying it for decentralization purpose, so all the trouble I'm going to be in town here.
Yes. So all of the trucks should not just be central. I think all the trucks should just be on the Nipo Street. Let the trucks be, because sometimes when the idea, even the idea course, Clarence, the time the truck will take to leave from Nipo Street all the way to Tubero Junction.
Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Mr. Russell. Thank you. Let's go back. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Clarence, my name is back.
Yeah? You say what's your name? Oh, you left the line. I didn't cut you off. Hello? Good morning. Let's go back here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah?
Okay, good morning to the building studio.
He's listening.
Okay, this is testimony by joining the conversation.
But your line is terrible. I don't know. The other lines have been very loud, except yours. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to the many listeners. My name is Moses. I'm fully in this number 9. Yeah, good morning to the honorable man in the studio. My point has to do with what's really happening in Liberia. The site can be neglected. And Russia, Raji, Maryland, Country, Sano, this cannot be benefiting from all of it happening in Liberia. Why? I've always asked myself that question. We always be forgetting about the government, they can forget about us. So let them try to do something about us. You hear the minister saying, Russia and non-Russia about Lufa, Magivi, Gwebaso, and Dalo, one country, and Nimba. They play, they be focusing on the whole country. So not correct. We got like that too. Thank you.
Okay. Let's hear you. Hello?
Yeah, Clarence, I said my name is J. Papa from Panama. I want to ask your fire chief. I want to know the relationship between him and his 2 deputies. And I also want to know from him that it is true that he did complain in Mayafa to the Justice Ministry. I want to know the working relationship that between him and his deputy, and also why led him to complain in Mayafa to the Justice Ministry.
Okay. Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah?
Good morning. This is Mayor calling for Congata.
Pastor Man, let's hear you.
Thank you very much. So, let me ask 2 points quickly. Point number 1, war is not good, but I thank God that many Liberians who are alive now, whether small or older, or saw the effect of war, for which nobody prepared. But some of we want to say thank you to OKFM for the kind of balance show you have, because I've been following the things 1-2 days now about how the fire trucks have been rented to ArcelorMittal and all the kind of thing. So coming out and hearing what he said is a different revelation altogether from what I see. It's because you gave the space for him to come and explain to the Latvian people.
Okay.
Then the next. So thank you to OKFM for such a great job. Number 2 is that I want to suggest to him, the fire chief, that if the firefighting is about life saving, lives and property. So if that is a serious duty and people trying to do it and people want to make April Fool out of it like we call it here, then of course there is a need for a government to put in system that indeed if somebody will be playing phone, because at the time the real thing happening, then the people will say it's the same thing. So if government could put in place a system that if somebody fake firing and there is no fire occurring in your place, and the call that you made, the call law can be subpoenaed by government or the fire service, and the network provider, when they can trace you, it means that they penalize anybody who does that. And that will call it off.
But that is just easy. All they need to do is to hire an RT person. Whoever call, by the time you call, everything about you will register in the people's system. It's simple. The guy people can do that in simple. Hello?
Morning, Clarence.
Good morning, you boy. What you want to talk about? The Marquez and the Toronto Grand Crew?
Well, thank you. It's just not about Grand Crew. Clarence, my name is Focus Wilson. I'm from the South. Let me say thank you to your studio guest. I think he spoke well. But a few things claim my attention very quickly. The first thing, I want person who believe that those people, especially Mr. Buffalo, doesn't have a vision for fire service that could move the country forward. In the first place, since the guy appointed to that position, almost 2 years now, they have not done a single tour. Including the southeast that he admitted to, which is a distant area that they're not being able to go and do an assessment and see the condition of people. In Grand Crew, I'll be very clear. I see one single individual with a dusted uniform. You don't even want to make a uniform, whether it's a fire service uniform, whatever the case. He's just posted in Grand Crew and no training, nothing. Besides that, Clarence, Mr. Baba should understand that fire service is not the revenue generation entity. Metal Steel or Stella Metal, whatever the case, will not use our facility that belongs to ordinary Liberian citizens to be rented to ArcelorMittal. He doesn't want to make a fact. It's not about assessment.
No, it's not ArcelorMittal, sir. We read the communication, and I think he sought go ahead from the Minister of Justice.
There's something beyond that communication you read, Clarence. I'm telling you.
What's beyond it?
I mean, Clarence, they try to mortgage, they try to do business with fire service on a very serious note, and that's why someone asked the question: what's the relationship? That to speak now.
But focus, what you're saying, focus. What you're saying, it lacks facts. This man has brought facts. He's brought documents, 3 separate documents. One document from the Skyline, whatever company. Another document from him writing the Minister of Justice, asking for the minister's opinion. Another document from the ministry giving him go ahead to do what they want to do. But you're only saying it. You're speculating.
So, Clarence, this could be not the speculation because I have not presented that document to your studio. But I can encourage you and I can say to the Liberian people, wait and see where the smoke is coming from. The true fire revealed this at the appropriate time that Mr. Buff and others have been who were ArcelorMittal to rid our property to ArcelorMittal and make money out of it. That's what.
Okay, Foka. Thank you. Like I said, that's just an allegation. But let's take the last one, then we'll go back to Director Bob. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling you from Tottenham, Brazil.
Okay, your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Joseph Gray.
Okay.
Thanks to the director for his plan to decentralize the fire service.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to his plan, he knew some priority counties. But he omitted the entire western region. So maybe it's an oversight. So I would encourage him that he factor in the western region part of his decentralization first phase.
Thank you. Director Buffer, let's come back to you. You heard the concerns.
All right, let me say thank you to the callers. Let me begin with my brother from Tottenham. I come from the Western region as well. So the Western region is part of the plan. All right? We have stages that we want to do the work. So don't worry. Once we get a support, you have a fire station in Tottenham, Cape Mon, and the Babulu. Poker Wilson, right? He said, I do not have a vision. In fact, I'm not done tour. I don't know why you were listening to the show. We went to 3 regions, and the remaining, we got 5 regions. So the 2 regions in the southeast, because we got back, because of the rain, we could not go. So we did dressing. I said that we'll be going there to assess the situation there. So we did tour, and we'll be doing tour. The whole Scarlanti, I got no idea about what they are talking about. What I do know, the guy came and requested, and one thing he told us that he will be responsible for the team that there, as far as I'm concerned. That's what I know. All right. Okay, another person talked about the Southeast. We're not forgetting the Southeast. We got men there.
Okay.
We got men in the Southeast. In fact, I was in the States. The Grand General Association, we talk, and we'll continue the discussion about helping all the build a fire station in Grand General. So, okay, Russell talk about this one. You can't go put a truck in the storm. That's why we're fighting to build substations in these communities so that the men can have a place to sit and the truck can have a place, to be posted. So we are working on this thing. So that we can't go put a truck to a police station and park there. What the man will say, the police person would there say they ain't got enough seat to sit down there and kill fire for there. So we are working on it. And some honorable, member of the legislature are building fire station around. So if they do that, intended what will be happy and we'll post truck in the places. Mohammed, okay, accommodation. Okay, he talked about South Korea. Mohammed, if you are listening, please find a time to come to my office this week and we can discuss what you did. I mean, we are looking for support. If you have that kind of video or contact, come, let's discuss and see how best we can take it from there. Okay, Flomo. Okay, from the Iron Gate. Like we said, at the Iron Gate, they gave us a place there, and so we're trying to see whether we can construct something with it. But when you're constructing a fire station, you don't just build it just for the fire truck. You build it for the men as well. Because the guys will run 3 shifts, first shift, second shift, and third shift. And you gotta have a place for the people to rest, so that when it's a call, they can respond. So you can just build one room as a fire station. So that's why we have sorry, I didn't build a blueprint for people to see. So and I want to thank those who commended us for the job we do, and those who criticize, we say thank you, because the more you criticize, the more focus. We thank you for your call. Somebody spoke about what happened yesterday. It was a pathetic situation. In fact, after we put the situation under control, we went to go follow with the Vera Hospital. At JFK, we realized there were about like 18 persons that were affected.
18?
They are undergoing treatment. This morning, I dispatched my team to go to Cali to see also whether there were people there.
Okay.
So once we get the pieces together, we provide the information today. I'm told we should appear at Mika. That's where we provide the information.
Okay, somebody was asking about you and your deputy got in trouble.
Where tea and talk and be blah. So what you think about him? So okay. I mean, so now can be some issue. Okay, so
you can solve it. You reported on your deputy.
It's administrative, so let be so.
Okay, so what's your final message to us before you leave?
Again, I want to say thank you to the OK FM family for always being there for us. As we come to the dry season, we look forward to you supporting us in the awareness process, because fire is not one-man business. We want to call our people across the country that approach the dry season, especially those in the leeward, in the counties, please start setting the grass on fire. Okay. Start setting bushes on fire. The LEC is doing well extending current. The poles, some of them are wood. If you do that and the pole burns, the wire drop, then you will not get current. So please stop that and stop the false alarm. When the pole come to fight fire in the community, give them a chance to fight fire. Don't, even if the pole come late, it is you who didn't give the information on time. Even the car that, you see the thing about fire, and not only the structure that's on fire, we also protect the other structure that are around. Because the zinc you see, so when you get high at certain temperature, it bursts into flame. So you will see the people fighting the fire and see that doing cooling to the other structure. So if even our house is down, the people come, they gotta make sure it's totally under control and do cooling for the other structure. So please give a chance to fight the fire. When they come to your community, please appreciate them. The thing is, we are not the one that set your structure on fire. So when it happens, you're running from there. We come in to put the situation under control. So you gotta appreciate us. And you know, Clarence, I was in the state. I went to the restaurant. I was in my uniform, and as I sat down, people left at 2 o'clock and tell, "Oh, thank you for the job we do." We don't do that in that, bro. We don't appreciate people for what they do. Especially the firefighters.
But you heard some of the callers appreciating
you.
No,
I mean, I'm talking about, on the majority of the people. I mean, we appreciate people who are concerned about us. But just walk to the fire station and say, "Hey, gentlemen, thank you for the job you do."
Okay. Dr. Bover, thank you so much. Basically, what's what Bover was our guest this morning on the show. We're thinking we will be back here tomorrow with another edition of the OK Morning Rock. But I mean, like basically, why you want somebody to call him basically? Basically is your first name. That was what that just not gonna need. That basically need the real people know. Okay, tomorrow we'll be back here, man. My name is Piso. Thanks to Blessing Rejoice Naming for everything. Tomorrow we'll be here with the Wednesday, September 17th edition of the Morning Rush. As the dry season is coming closer, we are available to work with the fire service to get spot messages to educate the people about what you need to do. My name is Piso. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.